Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 13 of Awakening the Ancients. Got a bit of an intro to read this time, because some shit happened. So, in the pure silence and darkness of the portable hole, Skeggy and Crackle sit anxiously, waiting for Sparrow to spirit them away from the danger of combat. A portal to the plane of fire had opened right before their eyes, and through it came an incursion force of fire elemental soldiers. With their hearts still pounding, the hole eventually opens, and the two of them climb out, finding themselves in the outer courtyard of the Fortress of Fire. This wasn't the plan, they thought. They came here for magic crystals, and instead got almost arrested by Lorenvale's soldiers. Maybe it was time to cut their losses and escape while the fort was in chaos. Skeggy instead decided that then would be the perfect time to delve back into the fort and claim what they came for. However, attempting to resist arrest led to a sound defeat at the hands of the soldiers defending the fort. Now close to death and drained of any hope, they sit in chains, awaiting their fate. This couldn't be right. Something was wrong here. Why, when all odds were against them, did they try to take the crystals? They had a way out, and didn't take it. Suddenly, light shines down on them from above, as the portable hole opens. The three of them stand in the courtyard of the fortress, a sense of extreme déjà vu soon lost amongst the chaos. The three of you are there in the courtyard. Familiar sight.
Timmy.
The courtyard of the fortress?
Mm-hmm.
Skeggy, who is it?
Skeggy, Crackle, and Sparrow.
Oh, okay.
Sparrow has opened the portable hole and is ushering you outside. The soldiers around you are rushing to take up defensive positions, both inside and outside the fort.
Hey guys, so I know we really. Oh, Daniel, can you mute your mic?
Yep.
I know we really wanted the crystal. Wasn't in the cards. I feel like we should just go. Bellamere can meet us after.
I mean,
as he's kind of like climbing out of the hole and getting ready to get into the cart to put on his armor, he kind of pauses for a second and he says, "I think you're right, Sparrow, but we can't leave our friend Bellamere in there. He's fighting demon all by himself with all those elves. We gotta do something."
Oh shit. Grant's headphones died. But I'm sure Crackle would say, "No, let's go get the crystals."
I'll do it myself if I have to.
I'll do it.
Oh god.
Yeah, Crackle just wants to save Bellamere, he said.
Okay.
What? Okay. Why do I need to be saved?
If we would leave our friend to die,
Is this
perhaps
this
we can
like
do us a
immediately?
favor with these elves.
This is during the
I'll give you a
the
reminder.
fire room fight, right?
Yeah, I'll give you a reminder.
You
So
guys bounced out of there.
they left like real early in that combat.
Right.
And there was, I think, two rounds after that, before we stopped playing last time.
Mhm.
So this is like
hello?
this is like them. They have run like out of the fortress. They've made their way into the outer courtyard, and Sparrow has let the two of them out of the portable hole and left Bellamere behind.
So we're picking up.
This is
during the
maybe
end of the battle.
this is maybe 2 minutes later.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So during that time, Bellamere and the soldiers down there have been fighting the elementals.
Okay. I'm just making notes here as we go.
This incursion was unprecedented. And I think we can't abandon our friends, because he wouldn't abandon us. I don't think.
I wanna go up to one of the guards, and hopefully they'll come with Skeggy and Sparrow come with me, and I wanna pull out my free sword badge, and just be like, well, our friend is in there, and he's helping fight off those fiery bad guys, and we really appreciate it if you'd let us help. Maybe count it as a quest or something of that nature.
You're free to do what you wish. Go in, help the fight, whatever works.
Oh well. Crackle's like taken aback how easy it was. He like had a whole speech prepared. He's like, well, yeah, well, thanks, yeah. We'll go right in then. And he like kind of turns to those and he's like, are we actually going in?
As soon as Skaggy gets his armor on.
Skaggy dons his armor.
Woo!
The guard's like,
If
yeah,
you're going-
absolutely, you can go through.
If
And
you're going to help,
no,
follow our
wait,
lead.
Listen.
Yeah, hell yeah.
If you're going to help, follow our
Of
lead.
course, you know.
And then he basically like, come on, let's go, and like starts to go inside.
Whoa,
Where the fuck
teleport.
did Crackle go?
Did you see me?
He like flew off the map. Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
There you
I'm
are.
over here.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I like hit the doorway and teleported.
The fuck was that?
Wait, is there a map? I don't see
You can see
anything.
what's happening.
You're not
I
on the
can't
map
see.
right now.
Just give it a sec.
Okay,
I know.
it's dark. I'm in darkness.
Alright, yeah.
Yes.
Let's
Same,
follow him in.
Dad.
All right, fair enough.
Oh, my shit is fucked. Hold on. I'm reloading my pitch.
Ooh.
I think that Crackle teleport broke Roll20 real quick.
Yeah.
So hold on a second.
Crackle's known to do that.
So what's a wild magic surge, everybody? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, these things happen, people.
Isn't that Eris's thing?
Oh god. Okay.
No.
No.
Wild
Let's
magic?
do it.
No. Oh.
He's draconic origin, and Eris is mutant
Yeah.
Yeah.
power.
She just
Circle
mutates because she's nasty.
I just thought it'd be cool to have two heads.
She got too much red 40 in her system.
I got bones for claws.
Wolverine.
Okay. So, similarly to before, there are a number of guards here who have once again started to take up defensive positions, guarding various doorways and various methods of getting out of here. Put a couple more here. There's like one more guy over here. Alright. So you rush inside. The guard captain takes up a defensive position over here on the far end of the room. The three of you are left to take up your own defensive positions. What the fuck?
Where the bridge is at.
Just assume that you can go anywhere in this room without needing to fall into lava.
Oh, what happened to my token?
It's there.
I think
No,
it was.
I flipped it over. Before.
It was that way, right?
Right, your default token is you without the armor. So when I drag you onto the board, it just shows up as Skeggy.
Are we not gonna go back in the room?
No, we are. I was gonna motion to the soldiers like, well, lead the way.
Take up defensive positions.
Okay.
We must protect the outside from whatever came through the portal.
All right. Crackle's gonna post up like on this corner over here. Comes some maneuverability.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up close. I'm gonna go guard this door with these guys and gank them when they come through.
Gank them.
I'd like to take cover behind this crystal.
You're muted, Kelso.
Oh, I'd like to, Daniel, can you?
I already did.
I'd like to take cover behind this crystal, if I could.
Sure. Do you want to hide?
Yes.
Cool. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check, please.
Gotcha. I've got to
I also
open
want
my
to
character sheet.
put on my little temporary sequence.
So,
You're probably fine.
Can I get spell?
27's probably fine. Okay. So, as you take up your positions, the elves drawing bows and swords and staves, the rest of you readying your various forms of assault, there is a strange quiet that comes over this moment, like the anticipation is
like a lag.
hanging in the air. You can hear sounds of combat, Skeggy. Since you're closest to the tunnel there, you can hear the sounds of combat from the other side. You hear casting of magic, and you hear shouting voices. And then all of a sudden, you hear nothing. Sound dies down, and there's just silence coming from through the tunnel. You don't know what to expect. Very soon after, however, you see, supported by several of their brethren, a couple of injured soldiers begin to limp their way through the tunnel towards you. You see one soldier, particularly injured, covered in frost, being supported by your friend Bellamere.
Shit.
And you see the commander striding forward, injured, but still very much in command of the situation. Walks forward and says, "The incursion has been dealt with. Everyone, stand down." The soldiers look at each other and begin to lower their weapons and help the injured.
Crackle rushes forward, pulling out his dragon flask that has the healing potion in it, his dragon vessel. And goes to check on Bellamere.
So, gatekeeper's back here too.
Bellamere, are you hurt?
Bellamere is not injured at all. Bellamere took no damage during the fight.
Well, then I'm gonna offer it to the commander and be like, "Well, you look hurt here," and tell him it's a healing potion.
He reaches out and a hand and directs you to one of the more injured soldiers. Says, "Take care of my men if you're going to take care of anything." I have words.
To a soldier.
I have words for the full review.
All right.
And with that, he begins to walk over toward where the lower portion of the fort is. The expectation that you will all follow.
Fine.
Yeah, where is he going? Where do you go?
Up north.
Skeggy kind of looks at Bellamere and Crackle, and he shrugs his pauldrons. Oh God, we're in jail again.
No, don't worry about it.
Prison.
I'll move those around.
Oh.
Oh God. Again with this. God damn it. Man, Roll20 just doesn't like me today. There we go. Okay. Get your ass out of here. Alright. So, the four of you go ahead and do your whatever. I'm assuming you're
What is that
following.
supposed to mean?
I'm assuming you're following. Sorry, I interrupted the conversation with me changing maps. So whatever you were gonna say, Crackle.
Oh, I just shrugged at Bellamere and Crackle and said, "Sorry, we were late. I had to get dressed."
Are
Crackle
these
just
elves?
starts laughing.
Are these elf guardsmen standing where they're standing on the
Fashion
screen here?
emergency.
Yes, they are.
All right, so I know that elves can hear, so I'm not going to say anything. Bellamere gives the others a rather hard stare, but says nothing.
I guess we'll just talk to him then.
I don't really think we have much of a choice.
Maybe we could just slip out while his back is turned.
This has worked for us exactly 0 times.
Well, did you say the expectation was that to follow the commander?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying is trying to sneak away while he's not paying attention has worked exactly 0 times.
Is that him way over there by the crystal, or is that something else?
No, that's a different guy. The commander
Okay.
went further inside the room.
Okay. Bellamere's going to follow the commander.
Go ahead. You have your token.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Where did he go?
Further into the chamber.
Into the chamber. All right. I don't remember where the commander is exactly. Is he on the left? Okay.
See the commander sitting at the desk here that you had previously rifled between, and you see him. You see him essentially like reach inside of the desk and pull out a potion and down it himself, and you watch a lot of the wounds across his body begin to knit and heal. He kind of sighs, sits in the chair, cranes his, turns his neck over to let the wounds heal. He's like it's like stretching a little bit, like he's a little sore. And he says, "So, let's dispense with the lies, shall we? You're not here on behalf of anybody. We already established that. You're here for something else."
Oh,
Crackle looks over and makes eye contact with Skaggy.
You're correct.
Crackle's
We came for the crystals, but only to empower ourselves so that we may better help the Corellus. What is it?
Corellus Coalition.
The Corellus Coalition?
Yeah.
The Corellus Coalition,
Concord,
who's in great danger.
Concord.
oh my god.
The commander says, "Finally, some truth. Well, what you don't know is that these crystals are very dangerous in the wrong hands, and no one can be trusted with this much power in their hands. Our goal here was to study and see why this fortress was raised in the first place. From the headmaster's report, it wasn't here, but a month and a half prior. But when we are done, this fortress will be sunk, and everything in it lost,
Bless you. God damn.
including these crystals. A powerful tool they are, yes, but dangerous in the wrong hands."
And whose decision was this to destroy this resource of power?
It is an ongoing decision, several hundred years old. A treaty formed by many lands. In fact, all modern kingdoms of Durabar. An alliance held by elves and men and dwarves across the continent.
What, some international treaty to destroy portals like these?
The portals are a separate matter entirely. That they leave to us. The trade of powerful magic items, however, is restricted by treaty, yes. Even your coalition.
Even our coalition, what?
Even your coalition restricts them.
Oh.
Like we said, we're not on official business. However,
We still have 2 or 3 pounds of this shit.
We do we?
Yeah.
You had some you collected before.
Don't say anything.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that.
They haven't frisked you or searched you yet, so
Well, it's not on us, I don't think, is it?
no. Well,
with the cart? We
it's in
didn't go in with the
somebody's.
cart.
it's in the cart, I believe.
It's in
Or is
somebody's
it in the hole?
shit.
Is it
You
in the
probably
hole or
left a
the
lot of
cart?
them.
I thought it was in the cart, but okay.
Oh. In any case, none of this crystal will come to use. It's too powerful, especially in this vast quantity.
That's a pity.
if you say so.
Better than
Well-
the alternative.
If we can't collect the crystal, and this fortress is going to be leveled or sunk, I dare say we have no further business here. There's only one piece of business that remains, Commander. Are we
And-
still under arrest?
Are you still under arrest? That is a very good question.
Am I under arrest or can we go?
Am I being detained?
I'm trying to be nice about it. I do not consent to this search.
Yeah. The
Do
commander
not break my window.
looks over each of you and says, that is an interesting question. You lied to us, you attempted to take a dangerous controlled substance from this fortress.
We didn't actually know what it was, though.
So you say.
I mean, to be fair, we were just. I mean, I didn't. Skeggy doesn't know that things are restricted by law. He just
No,
got
no,
here.
he doesn't.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah.
The commander says, but
Uh-huh.
but one of your number did assist in the dispatching of the incursion of elementals through the portal, and the rest of you, it seems, were willing to aid us in defense of the fortress. So I'm willing to overlook your incursion onto our operations here.
Good enough for me.
Take your goods, your cart, and yourselves and leave this place post-haste.
Crackle tries to like shake his hand.
The
He
commander,
gives him his business card.
yeah, the commander will shake yours back and say, "Look, it takes a lot of bravery to stand up for one's friends, and to help those you don't know. We've only met recently. I admire that, but try not to be so brave in the future." And you get the sense that by brave he means foolish.
All right.
Skeggy is bad at goodbyes and
Yeah.
doesn't know how
Crackle
elves
turns
work.
and walks
And
out.
so he
yeah.
kind of like just stiffly turns around and starts walking out.
Hey, that's a weird looking lizard. Why does it have cow ears?
So, so you guys begin to gather your shit, head out of the fort.
Yeah, we're gonna prepare to leave. Can Bellimer say one thing then to the commander?
Yeah, sure.
He straightens up. He moves his staff into his non-casting hand, and he says, "We were glad to have been of service to you, Commander. I look forward in the future to the opportunity of clarifying this misunderstanding between us. I'm not a thief. I am Bellamere of Gillidan, and everything I do is for the betterment of the Academy, whether you believe it or not." And he's going to hope that he buys it, and he's going to turn on his heel and march off with the rest of them.
All right. Commander goes back to tending to his wounds and his men. The rest of the soldiers see you out. You're given an escort as a formality through the fortress, just to make sure you guys are actually leaving, getting out of here. But yeah, you head back to your cart and begin to move away. All right. So as your cart trundles across the
North.
igneous land bridge out of the crater
Oh.
and back into the wastelands, the rest of your time is yours.
Okay, so as we're walking or riding in the cart, Bellamere doesn't have his horse, so we're all just walking apparently.
I think you hitched your horse to the cart. I think that's why you're able
Did
to
I?
pull
Okay.
it.
I'm not sure how we're traveling, but however we are, Bellamere's going to break the silence by saying, not for nothing, but what was that back there?
What do you
felt-
mean? What was that back
I
there?
felt like
You walked in and started lying to the captain.
Not that. not that, and we can differ about whether or not that was actually a lie. But the point is, when those creatures came out of that portal, you left.
Skeggy was gonna die.
I was hurting pretty bad. I feel.
And? Okay.
I need my
That's my
armor.
family.
I need my armor.
Shove your honor up your ass, old man.
Bellamy, how would you feel if I took away all of your robes and you had to fight naked? Would that be very nice? Would you like to do that? I didn't think so.
So you were injured.
Very severely.
Was I? I forget.
Yes, you were. We both got really effed up in that first encounter.
I mean, we did what we could. I think I casted a few spells.
I see. Well, from my vantage point, I couldn't see who was injured and who wasn't unless they were in front of me.
I'm just a little gnome guy.
Well, I
I
understand
don't
if you're
have no
injured.
weapons.
What about you, Crackle?
I was also damn near dead. From the first time we fucked around with them before.
I see.
Your voice is less.
So I misunderstand this situation. Then is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean,
This was not
Severely.
a.
You didn't see us try to come back with I put my armor on. But you had done it. You had killed them all before we got there.
Well, very well. Perhaps I accused you too hastily. All I know is it was a dicey fight, and I didn't know how injured everyone was.
That's kind of part of being a party, is it not? You're not fighting by
Well,
yourself. You're
I
not
don't-
getting yourself into danger. That's my
Well,
uncle.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Then keep an eye out for everyone.
I would if they were in the room with me.
We were all in the room together from the start.
And then we weren't.
And you sought to blame the
No.
rest.
No, I've retracted any accusation. If it appeared to be an accusation, I retract it because I didn't know you were hurt. We were all there together, and when we're all there together, we're very effective. I think we've shown that. But the next thing I know, these guards are getting hurt, and you guys aren't there. So, I didn't know you were injured. I didn't know it was an escape to try and save lives. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Skeggy looks. How much? We had. Skeggy looks at the meager few pounds of raw Ildigan that they had gathered from the mountains on the way there.
Oh, and here's our international war crime in our cart.
What?
Here's our
say
international
nothing.
war crime in the cart.
I guess so. And he kind of sighs and he said, "It would have been nice to have those crystals, but good thing we know where to find them from now here on out. Our giant friend told us that if we ever get close to that big volcano, ooh, you better know. I'm gonna get some more Ilgin. Now I just wonder how much I can refine from what little we got.
really want to commit war crimes.
I don't think it
This is
would
a
be
powerful
considered a war
weapon
crime.
we might possess now.
If you say so.
And hopefully it is enough to help with the incursion from Durabar. Durabar.
Well, we're not prepared to go any deeper into the wasteland, but I can tell you that the wasteland is not a political force on this continent. The wastelands are the wastelands, as we've seen. So that the elves, they have no more claim to that volcano than anyone else. This is not a nation we're traveling through. So if we were to risk it, and it would be, I would say, too great a risk right now for us to go any deeper toward the volcano, perhaps in the future, or with an expedition
thinking for later.
better armed and supplied, we can do that. I don't think the elves or anyone else can tell us we can't.
I just
But bringing the
apologize
crystals
for sending us on
back
this
would be
wild
the
goose
issue.
chase.
I say we get as much out of the amount that we have, and we're going to have to put it someplace where it can't be found.
Garrett, what can we do with the Ildgen that we found?
So I'm gonna treat it like I'm gonna treat it like this. It can replace the cost of certain materials to either craft things or cast certain spells. Specifically of a fire attuned nature. If you had, like, for example, some kind of fire spell that you could cast, and you use Ildgen to do it, you could empower it with an item made from the gems, or you could, like, if you had some kind of fire enchantment you wanted to put on weapons or armor, you could. And it would replace the cost of crafting some of those things. It would not replace, but like it would help offset the cost because you have some of the materials readily available.
Okay.
That's intriguing.
Fire hand crossbow.
Yes.
Gun.
Like how many do we have? At least 4 enough raw stuff for 4, a gem for each of us per se.
It depends on whatever you want to make.
Sure.
Higher level gear requires higher amounts of materials. It's more expensive. If you want to split up the amount that you have amongst the 4 or 5 of you, it's going to be small enchantments for everybody. But if you want to dump it all into one person, it might be a little bit better.
Ooh. Well, I wasn't there, so.
Yeah. We'll get there.
I just wish I could make beautiful things for all of you.
Oh.
But I may only have a small amount for each of us, or we can all just pull it all together and make a big item for that only one of us can use. Of course, I went out here trying to upgrade my armor.
Of course,
But
I would like to do that for myself.
we all sacrificed lots of great things on this goose chase, and I appreciate y'all. So we should decide what to do. But until then, until we get back to the workshop, we can't do anything with it now.
All right.
Why don't we find out what it can do and how we can control it and in what ways before we decide what to do with it? Either way, studying these crystals and testing them, it could take weeks. Weeks we don't have if we're going to uncover the mystery.
Got a couple weeks on the way back.
Right.
Well, I don't, my lab is at my home. I don't have anything unless, Skeggy, you brought a portable lab.
He has jeweler's tools, and
we are on the way to the fire giant.
You guys already talked to the fire giant about the crystals.
We might try that. But after all this, I'm anxious to get back home and rest.
He was interested in buying it, but I don't know if he
I think he gave us some clues.
He gave us clues as to where it was, but
just the nature of it.
He didn't. He didn't seem like he wanted to teach us how to use it. I think that's something we might have to figure out on our own. He was interested in buying it, but not in the quantity we have. So I think Skeggy would want to study the crystals on the way back to Dunloft, and just to determine how they could be integrated into weapons and armor.
Okay. What would that be? Straight up intelligence check, probably.
Intelligence.
Yeah, and you have tools, so and you can make tools if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
So I'll
do you
give
have
you
any like
advantage on
special
it.
fabrication abilities?
I can
Like a
create.
buff of some kind or anything?
Well, I can create like any kind of tool. Like I have a thing that is the right tool for the job, so I can just create. As long as I have one set of tools, I can transform them into any other set of tools.
I mean, we should. Well, normally the procedures, I would say, what I learned in the academy was test it thoroughly, determine its properties, determine the limits of what it can and can't do, and then decide what tool it's best augmenting.
I have smiths, tinkers, and jewelers tools that might help, and those are the ones that I have proficiencies in.
Yeah, I mean, you're the best one to determine the most accurately the properties.
I can cut them. I can polish them. I can integrate them into a weapon and armor with smith's tools.
What did we get? Like 2 pounds, I thought we got.
I
Now
told
that
one of
we know
you
that they intend
put that in your
to
inventory,
destroy those crystals, if that was in fact what they're going to do, on our way back, if there is a random encounter of some kind, hopefully, I mean, I just want to get home, but if there is, then there may be more of these crystals to, harvest from these hexes like we did before. We should grab as much as we can on our way out, because we might have the only amount of these crystals between here and Autumn Hall. If the elves are really destroying it.
So for
Not that
Skeggy,
Garrett wants to roll for more random encounters, but
Skeggy,
Yeah.
intelligence check with advantage, please, for this gems.
24.
Pretty good. So with a 24, you're pretty certain of what you can do with the amount that you have. You can make one rare item, or you can make probably 2 uncommon items with what you've got. We can talk about what those things are later if you want, or if you want me to give you suggestions, I have some.
Suggestions are always nice.
So, rare items would be something like a flame tongue. Flame tongue is rare.
I don't know what a flame tongue is.
It's a sword. It's a fire sword.
Oh, nice.
Very powerful, very classic magic item.
Oh,
Dungeons and Dragons.
that would be sick for Skeggy to have a fire sword.
In terms of an uncommon item, I would homebrew maybe something, or we could find a fire item that is an uncommon item. But I was thinking, if you wanted to, you could make with the help of either Bellamir or Eris, depending on which type you want to make, you could make a casting focus out of it that is specifically attuned to fire magic and can boost fire-related spells.
Oh. Could be helpful.
As an uncommon?
As uncommon, yeah. You could also turn it into, another like a standard uncommon non-homebrew item as well. You could make like 2 of those, as long as they were somehow related to a fire effect.
As we're traveling north, are we like camping, resting, moving? Are we kind of on the move here?
Yeah, so I'm assuming this is still the same day you guys were having this conversation, determining what to do, and Skeggy takes the rest of the time that you guys travel for this day to, do little experiments on the crystals in the back of the cart, until you guys come to rest and set up your camp for the night.
Okay.
At some point while you guys are setting up camp, gathering what little resources you have and setting up tents and whatnot, you see a figure running toward you, and it doesn't take very long to notice the familiar gray fur of Eris clopping over the desert toward you. Yeah.
Hello.
Sparrow runs up to her and she's like, "You left me with the boys."
I smell bad and make poor decisions.
Eris like takes a sniff and she's like, "You smell like burnt toast. Is everybody okay?"
I burnt my toast this morning.
Oh, just this morning? You burn your ass in that freaking like cavern, whatever. What was it?
A fortress?
Castle?
Castle?
Is that where we were?
The fortress of
Yeah, well,
Eris is
it's been a long
from-
time,
Eris
but
is from Beverly
check
Hills.
out my armor, and I like flex, and I'm like pointing and like.
Some fancy stuff.
She's wearing a pretty fancy leather vest.
leather vest. That's it.
It's a leather vest with a number of symbols that are kind of stamped into the leather,
Oh, I see.
and with a certain amount of embroidery and filigree.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, Eris, we could have used you. Unfortunately, our expedition to the fortress, well, we survived, but we didn't come away with any more of the crystals.
Oh. Sorry to hear that.
Suffice to say, it was a
Sometimes
strange
it's best
experience.
To not. I just want to make sure you guys are okay, because it was almost a like a what's it called? I'm sorry. A rescue mission. It was almost a rescue mission. I was on my way.
On my way.
Send me on my way. On my way.
I did have this crazy dream though about a lizard, and it was really warm.
This really warm lizard. I don't know
Yeah,
what that means.
and like I think Crackle was there,
Crackle would never
but
be.
he was in chains, so it doesn't look like you were in chains. So I'm glad it was just a dream.
Sparrow's been in a bad mood all day because she had a really bad nightmare about Skeggy dying.
Okay.
So what's the plan, guys?
Oh, well, we got some crystals, but we didn't get very many. So we're going back to Dunloft and we're gonna make a crazy magic item with them. Or maybe two. I don't know.
Or maybe two? That sounds good. Can I come with you?
Of course you can.
Well, I'm sorry your foray into the wastelands has to be reversed so soon, but we're all going to be very glad to leave this region.
I'm sick of the heat anyway.
We also have more information to consider. I think when we get back to Dunloft and rest, we need to meet up. We need to talk about some of the things we're hearing, some of the information we've uncovered. We know there's clearly a threat to what's the name of the political in Autumn Hall?
The Corellis Coalition.
Corellis Coalition. Yeah, so there appears to be a very real threat to the coalition.
Concord.
We have information that perhaps not anyone else has in the area of the coalition.
Yeah, we still never told them that they are in danger. Probably do that.
That would be hard to do without implicating ourselves in the black market transport of that metal. Perhaps we keep it to ourselves and explore it on our own until we have more evidence. I'm more in favor of rescuing people in trouble than confessing to crimes I've committed.
I don't really want to deal with that soldier elf again. He was kind of. Crackle's been hanging out with too many people who are teaching him curse words.
I will I will communicate with the academy, with my headmaster, in an attempt to smooth this misunderstanding over, and hopefully repair our reputation with Laurenvale. But for that, I need to get home.
Okay. So,
Okay.
bedding down for the night. Keeping watch as you do.
Are we rolling? Are we progressing? Is this just still the first day?
No, I'm gonna fast track some things because I don't have any more encounters for you to fight in the desert.
Okay.
You guys have
I'm gonna
run
click
through
long
all of
rest
them.
Then.
So, one thing I will say is that not every night, but many of the nights that you travel through the desert, Skeggy, you are tormented by nightmares.
Oh God.
What could have gone wrong?
Oh God.
You see Sparrow, Crackle, Bellamere all being killed in various ways, yourself being captured and forced to watch them thrown in a cell for all eternity, that kind of stuff. And it doesn't happen every night, but it happens many of the nights that you travel. To the point where it's hard for you to get sleep as you kind of cross the wastelands and back into the Concord.
Yeah, Skeggy's he's a loud sleeper. Everyone knows this, not just him.
Same with Eris.
More than once, while some of you are on watch, you hear Skeggy tossing and turning in his sleep, and sometimes waking up from nightmares that he's been having.
Eris is a gassy sleeper.
All right.
Okay, well,
But without too much problems, you do eventually make it back to Dunloft. And you are... there we go. Change the music. And you are able to do what you need to do. Figure out what you need to do next.
Yeah, just Kelso's exploring some or magic weapons, and there's a star-shot crossbow option.
Is it fire related?
It's rare. The crossbow is crafted with blackened wood, and its limbs bear pearl inlays depicting constellations. You ignore the loading property with this crossbow. If you load no ammunition in the weapon, it produces its own, automatically creating one piece of magic ammunition when you make ranged attacks with it. The ammunition created by the weapon vanishes the instant after it hits or misses the target. The crossbow has 3 charges and regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. Constellations. The crossbow is decorated with 3 constellations. As a bonus action, you can tap one of the constellations to invoke it, expending 1 charge and producing one of the following effects. Balance. The next time you hit a creature with a ranged attack using the crossbow, before the end of your next turn, you or another creature of your choice within 30 feet of you can regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your proficiency bonus. Flames. Until the end of your turn, when you hit a creature with a ranged attack roll using this crossbow, the attack deals an additional 2d8 fire damage. And Rogue. Until the end of your turn, you have the invisible condition, and anything you are wearing or carrying is also invisible.
Oh.
That's a tight crossbow.
It's
Yeah, that's pretty fucking strong.
close, but it
So we
does a
can-
little too much to say that that's the only material you need for the crossbow.
Yeah, the pearls and everything.
You need to track down special wood and pearls, or you'd have to pay someone to do that.
Whereas, say, a flame tongue, I would just need the metal, make a sword, and then just shove the fucking gems in there.
And you'd have to go through the enchanting process, which takes a while.
I
if you
mean, what
want me
was it? It
to-
was pearls, some blackened wood.
Pearls, blackened wood, and various amounts of enchanting other materials that go along with that. So,
I mean,
just
if you're on to wait, we could.
for context, the we're using the downtime activity rules from Xanathars for this. So what that means is the magic item crafting time and cost are determined by that, and we'll go with whatever you have available to you. You can knock off some of the price of it if you have the materials on hand already. So, for example, a rare weapon or a rare magic item would require 10 work weeks to finish, and usually 2,000 gold to craft. 10 work weeks is 50 days, for example. So a work week is 5 days. The cost would be offset by the amount of gems that you have. I give you a discount of, say, 500 gold for what you've got. But the time that you would need to craft the item is the same.
10 days.
No, 50 days for a rare
50
item.
days.
If it's an uncommon, it's significantly less time. It's 2 work weeks, so it's only 10 days. And the cost would be like 150 gold. Wouldn't be that
Well,
much.
we don't have that time because the thing's gonna happen in a couple weeks, right?
You have, according to the correspondence that you've decoded thus far, you have until winter's end, which is, at this point...
Wasn't it 3 months?
Yeah, but you spent a month going back and forth between the Fire Fortress and here. So you have like 2 months left to figure out what's going on before a plan happens.
Mm.
Can I sell junk from my inventory?
Yes. If you have junk to sell, you have to find
I'd like to sell this letter of endorsement on the black market.
No. Given that it specifically mentions you, no.
I have a magic short bow, a regular short bow, and the pole of angling.
Yeah, I have the fucking. I looked and I have the coin of delving and fucking the extendo pole. The power
Hey,
pole.
don't shit on the extendo pole. You'll find a use for it.
I still think making it into like an extendo spear would be fun. Who wants an extendo spear? I bet you you could use that fucking Eris.
What would I use an extendo pole for?
I mean, your
Extendo
boomerang,
spear.
your boomerang is like a one and done kind of thing.
True. I could use my extendo pole to like pull vault. Cross distances.
I think that's
right?
one of the intended uses.
There are many uses for an extended.
While holding this 10-foot pole, you can use it as an action to speak a command to collapse it into a 1-foot long pole.
I mean, yeah,
We got,
I guess I'll take it. Like,
Well, I mean, if I can make it into a spear, I
yeah,
don't see why not though.
yeah,
We have
Just throw a spearhead on the end of it.
yeah. I want to put a spearhead on the end of it.
we did divide up the items we found so far. Everybody did get something. The collapsing pole went to Skaggy. So is that what you're talking about? The collapsing pole,
Yes.
making it into something? Okay. And then we got 3 pounds of fire crystal gems. Ilga.
Now, my question is, Garrett, what can I do with my gauntlets?
Your gauntlets.
Because that
The
was
fire
like
giant.
the whole reason.
The fire giant put a rune on your gauntlets, which gives you
It gave
Gave
me a
him
spell.
one free
Burning
burning
hands.
hands per day.
once per day.
As far as further enchanting your gauntlets, we can talk about you. Well, it depends on how much of stuff you want to spend on it, but you can't. I'll put it this way: you can't stack multiple enchantments on the gauntlets. So pick one, and that'll be your gauntlets. Otherwise, you'll have to come up with a new pair. So if you want to make it a rare gauntlets, you can. If you want to make it uncommon gauntlets and save some Ilgin for later, you can.
And it would just be fire damage.
Yeah. We talked about either we talked about like being able to change your damage type to fire.
Right. Would rare be the same amount, or would it be like 2d6? Because 2d6 is what the flame blade does, but that's additional, I believe.
Yeah.
It does an additional 2d6.
Yeah, it would do the weapon's normal damage plus 2d6. So your Thunder Gauntlets currently do like whatever they are
1d8.
plus the thing, yeah. So I
That's
would
fine.
what I would do is I would change the entire damage type of everything to fire, and add maybe like an extra d8 of fire damage
If it was rare.
if it was fire.
If it was rare?
If it was rare, yeah, because I have to temper it by the fact that you're making several attacks in a turn.
Yeah. I mean, there's several people that can use an upgrade on the team, and it's hard to determine who. Crackle, I feel like Crackle could use something good, and so could maybe Eris. But Eris, you're like doing your wild shapes and shit. I don't know really what we could give you that could improve what you do.
Really, probably just like a focus of some kind.
You know what, Skeggy? You have the Earth Elemental core from when we fought the Earth Elementals in the Dust Mephits in the Wastelands.
Wasn't that where we got the Ilgin?
No.
Well, yeah.
No,
you
what
got,
was the core?
You got the
What did I
Ilgin
get?
from the previous fight with the
So you got
Mjorks.
the previous fight with the Fire Mephits or whatever.
The Mjorks.
We found
smoke
some
things.
deposits and some leftover stuff.
Oh,
So that's
it
where
was
we got
like
the
it
Ilgin.
was elemental essence, which I think we traded to the fire giant.
Did you give the Earth Elemental core away?
No.
You haven't given anything else away.
No, I think you have it in terms
None of you
thinking of
traded
something
anything
for
with the
Eris.
Fire Giant last time. You still have everything that you've gotten so far.
If you consider it a component to make something, I have you written down as having the Earth Elemental core.
What is the earth elemental core, Gary?
Remember when Sparrow went up to go grab the emerald from the top of the rock and he turned into an Earth Elemental?
Oh yeah.
It was that.
What does that do?
It's a core of an Earth Elemental. It's very similar to Ilgin as far as materials are, except that you have to get these by killing Earth Elementals. It's essentially living essence of Earth.
Earthbending.
So you could, if you wanted to, use that to replace the cost of some magic item shit, or also enchant things with Earth-related stuff as well.
What kind of damage would earth-related things do?
Bludgeoning.
Or what?
Bludgeoning damage.
Bludgeoning.
Or, depending. So Earth is typically associated in the game with either bludgeoning damage or acid damage.
Because I was gonna say that would probably be more in the realm. I can make something for Eris
Yeah,
that is earthy. That would
That's
be cool.
what I was thinking.
that would be cool. Yeah.
Like I could make you a staff with like that in the top.
You could make her an anklet that she could put around her hoof, and we could call it hoof stomp, and it could be like a thunder step stomp,
that'd be tight.
like an earthquake stomp.
Well, I already have like an earthquake type of spell.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm like fully committed to lightning spells.
True. So you might not want fire. I mean,
Well, no, I mean it's fine. Like I'm just saying, like it's cool to like commit to a vibe.
that's what I did with my sorcerer in it. There were enough ice spells that I could do it, but man, freezing ray just never fucking hit, did it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You just kept rolling poorly, though.
Or ray of frost. I mean, Bellamere. We have like lots of squishy characters that it's like I don't know. We can.
I have
think
some stuff.
I think a rare weapon would be the way to go, or a rare focus, or whatever.
I would say.
I'd say don't do anything for Crackle yet.
What?
I'd say don't do anything for Crackle yet.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't think Crackle's ready for that.
I think,
I'm ready for
Kelso, I like the idea of making the crossbow for you, but you are already, like, you're good. You're the best. You're the best. Like you're like not in trouble ever.
Definitely the best well-rounded character.
I think the people who are most often in trouble really are me, Hannah, and Grant.
Yeah.
Dad's been doing pretty all right.
Remember the lava shark?
All too well. I remember how much it killed me. So Skeggy, are we back to Dunloft?
Yes.
Skeggy's gonna study the crystals, perhaps fabricate something from his bag of tricks from his lab. I'm going to rest. I'm gonna get my clothes cleaned.
Right.
Check in with my book binding, book creating business.
Oh yeah, I got fat stacks I gotta check on.
And we have some clues. I wrote down some. I don't know. Garrett may have a. If anybody else wrote anything down.
So you've had essentially most of a month being gone. You've had about 24 days of travel, give or take. So that equates to 3 bastion turns. If we want to do that, you guys had set up shit to happen in your bastions while you were gone.
We had,
yeah. Did.
So if any of that is information gathering, we can do that now.
I had a
I did have some
task for them.
Kelso has a research task.
I asked them to research the diplomatic relationships with kingdoms on Dorlier.
Right. Okay. How does that fucking work? I forget how bastions work. Let me look up bastions real quick because it's.
I also have the poison garden, but I don't have that bookmarked. What it does. Oh no, it's the healing garden now.
Oh yeah.
Basic facilities. Special facilities. Okay. So your thing is specifically a library. Is that what it was? Research shit?
I believe so.
Research topical lore. Yeah. Research topics. That would be a legend, known event or location, person missing a type of creature, famous object. It takes 7 days. When the research concludes, highly contains up to 3 accurate pieces of information about the topic that were previously unknown to you. Shares the knowledge with you next time you speak to them. Okay. Sure. So, I mean, if there is even 9 things about diplomatic relations to tell you. So just like as far as like who is like connected to what, I can give you probably quite a bit here. What do you want to know about first? Let's do this. You tell me what you want to learn about, and I'll give you some info on it. We'll say you can get up to 3 pieces of information about any one relationship.
I wanted to know about King Varden Galdorian's like political alliances, since he has a relationship with the stone giants and he's like ancient.
Sure. So King Galdorian has been the king of Lorenvale for going on 600 or 700 years now. Very old. He's the oldest living monarch probably in the world. He has had a number of accolades attributed to him, but in general, him and the purpose of Lorenvale and the purpose of his reign has been to essentially keep the peace and prevent the land from falling into chaos for any number of different reasons. Specifically when it comes to the stone giants, it wasn't so much that he had a relationship with the stone giants. It was more like there was a land war happening between the two dwarven kingdoms that was threatening the stability of the continent because of how how prolific those two kingdoms were. Like they're like the second and third largest kingdoms in on the continent, at least at the time. And it was causing all sorts of disarray. So he stepped in and negotiated a peace between the two. And he did that after the stone giants had to step in to defend their land. So he was interested in keeping the status quo for the sake of peace. So there was that. As far as like his relationship with everyone else, he's on pretty good terms with everybody except for some kingdoms in on the opposite continent, on Agricia. He doesn't see eye to eye with particularly what is known as the Triumvirate in a kingdom called Valstiba. Valstiba is not something that you know about a whole lot. From what little your hirelings were able to bring back, you know that it's a magocracy. So people with magic have all the power. And it's ruled by essentially 3 equally powerful mages. And they and King Galdorian don't see eye to eye on the way that magic is used. The mages of Valstiba want to collect as much magical power as possible and think that magic is the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe and all that fun stuff. And King Galdorian's like, yes, but we need to temper that. You can't just go crazy with magic or else it throws things out of balance and things go bad. So they butt heads and don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. As far as relationships in Dorware, though, he's pretty well respected amongst basically everybody. At least all, humanoid races. Humanoid-run countries.
I'm trying to find where Valstiva is on the map.
It's not on this map. It's on another
Oh,
continent
okay,
entirely.
okay.
It's across the ocean. Like, they don't care about what one king says on the other side of the world. They don't care.
Gotcha.
He, as much as he tries to, people get around and there are diplomatic, missions that happen all over the place, but Lorenvale doesn't have as much reach over there, so they don't really give a shit what he says.
So that's interesting. Are there any other, known kingdoms on this continent that have a relationship with these witches that want to be the most powerful witches?
As far as Valstiba is concerned, there isn't, not really, because having a good relationship with Valstiba means souring a relationship with Lorenvale, who's a closer neighbor.
Not necessarily a good relationship, but just have had any interactions of note.
Well, I was also going to say, piece of information number 2, Valstiba is, they're kind of isolationists. They don't really want to interact with anybody else. They kind of want to do their own thing and be left alone to do it. And they don't really care what anyone else thinks. They think themselves superior to everybody else, and they don't really regard anybody as important enough to deal with. And not only that, they're very covetous about their resources and information. So not a lot comes out of Valstiba. They're, as far as anyone's been able to gather, that's just, you get the very basic information about Valstiba whenever you ask about it, and you'd have to actually go there to figure out what's actually going on in that country.
Okay.
So they're a little bit of a question mark as far as the rest of the world is concerned.
Okay. I have to think about what I want my third piece of information to be.
I want to come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bellamere, what did you have your people researching? Bellamere? Father?
I had a list of topics, and the next one on my list was researching. The next two are Totenwald, researching the city of Totenwald, researching the history of the city of Autumnhall, and then researching the fell races of the region. Intelligent and semi-intelligent creatures considered to be dangerous in the region. Those were the next three topics.
Let's see if I can find Corellis Concord here. Let's see.
I don't know how many I get, but those are the next three.
You get three of each, basically. Is what I can do. If there's three to go for. So Tottenwald was first. So Tottenwald is the closest city, or at least the closest big city, other than Port Ostrat, to Vedrauga, which was the city of giants. And because of that, Tottenwald was set up as a city with giant delegations in mind. So if ever there needed to be some kind of moot between giant kind and the Concord or anybody else, Tottenwald was set up to be a meeting place for people and giants. So there are a number of features about Tottenwald that were constructed with giants in mind. For instance, there is one of the biggest things about Tottenwald is that, you know, giants, massive people, they're going to step on shit. So there is a road designed specifically for them that leads from Tottenwald's port through the center of city all the way to the embassy in the center of town, called the Titans Thoroughfare. It's a extremely wide cobblestone street that runs all the way from the shoreline up to the center of the city. In days when Vedrauga was an active center for the Ordning, Tottenwald played host to diplomats from New Astoria, and occasionally would welcome them into the city via this street, which was built specifically to ease their passage. Tottenwald has not needed to use this street in years, since the giants of Vedrauga left Doroware, or moved on and stopped essentially becoming a nation anymore. You know that a lot of the giants of this region have left the area for parts unknown. No one really knows what's happened to them, save for the few giant colonies that still exist on the perimeter of the continent. The embassy itself in Tottenwald is a tower at the end of the Titans Thoroughfare with a large open forum at its peak. That has been abandoned since the disuse of it has been the status quo. But it used to hold discussions and debates with diplomats from Vedrauga before they left. You also know that due to these diplomatic relations, there is a library called the Libraria Runa. It's a repository of ancient giant knowledge, particularly regarding runic languages and the magic of the old world.
I like that.
Garrett, have you by chance played Library of Ruina?
Library of Runa? No, I haven't.
Oh, it's it's a good game.
I put runic library into Latin translator and it popped out with that. The library is only accessible by those who have earned the trust of the Ordning, who have been bestowed a special key that unlocks the building's otherwise immovable front doors. Several such keys once existed throughout Durabar, but ever since the giants abandoned New Astoria, only 3 individuals are known to possess them. King Varden Galdorian is one, Senator Emmerich Thalos of the Corellis Concord, and King Thydrock Goldbraid of Arfandor.
Yikes! Hold on.
Goldblade.
Yeah.
King
Varden Galdorian of Lorenvale, so the king of the Elven King.
King Veldorian of Lorenvale.
Yeah.
The king of town.
The king of town. Yeah, Anakin, the king of town. Senator Emmerich Thalos of the Corellis Concord, who I can find information about if you want, but that'll be 3 of your other shit. And then King Thydrock Goldbraid of Arfandor.
Arfandor.
Yeah, Arfandor is the northwestern dwarven kingdom where Vardar Skull is.
Barfindor.
More like Barfandor.
What? Wait, what's it called?
King
Thydrock Goldbraid of where?
Arfandor. If you want to know how to spell it, here's the Arfandor Mountains right here.
He's a dwarf.
He's the dwarven king of Arfandor, yes.
JK, I'm friends with the dwarves.
Dwarves.
Don't you mean Dwarfindor?
There are a couple
Dwarfindor?
there are rumors as to who could have possessed some of the other keys, and typically they are famous individuals from history. So it was rumored that Cameron Corellis once possessed a key before he died, although no one's been able to confirm that. And there is a rumor that Iskarthel also possesses a key. Iskarthel being one of the most famous wizards, alumni of Iselden's Magic Academy.
Wait. Who is that?
Iskarthel.
Iskarthel is a famous somebody he would know then as a famous graduate of the academy.
Yes. Powerful wizard in his own right. He's mostly famous for claiming an entire section of forest for his own. Up in the far north, over near River City, and between River City and Silverhelm, near Deerdringer.
What is his connection to Totenwall?
It's rumored that he has a key to access the runic library.
Oh, okay.
But no one's been able to confirm that either, because he hasn't. He's a recluse. He lives up in the woods, and he has a magic mist that protects him from people visiting him. So typically people know he exists, like, out in their periphery, but they don't really. No one's ever really seen him or dealt with him in a very long time.
All right. So, having uncovered that, Bellamere is definitely going to be. He's going to have that on the back of his mind if he ever goes to Totenwald or he ever encounters anything like this. He wants access to that runic library. Okay. The next one was Autumn Hall.
Autumn Hall, yeah. Okay. Who's the guy I said? Emmerich Thalos. By the way, Senator Emmerich Thalos is the only elven senator in the Corellis Concord, and he is the senator specifically from Totenwald, so he's in charge of the city. He essentially he ran for a seat on the Senate at the behest of King Galdorian, and he works as he's kind of a liaison. He's kind of an extension of Lorenvale's power.
Galdorian or Valdorian?
Galdorian. I'm gonna put it. I'll put it in chat so you can spell it correctly and say it correctly. There you go.
That's right. Okay.
Galdorian.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Anyway, Autumn Hall.
Autumn Hall, yeah.
Autumn Hall. What do you want to know about Autumn Hall specifically?
The history of the city and the politics of the city.
Okay. So Autumn Hall is the capital city of the Concord. It was the first. It was the first like major city to spring up after Cameron Corellis visited this region of the world and through his adventures made it safe for people to settle there. It used to be a land that was covered with banditry and monsters, and Cameron Corellis and his adventuring party kind of swept through the area and cleared out a lot of the monsters and saved many of the settlements that did exist there, allowing essentially the formation of the Concord over time. Which they named after him because he was kind of like the hero of the land. Autumn Hall was the first of the biggest towns, so it became the seat of power essentially. And the way that the Concord works is kind of like a democracy or a republic rather, where each major settlement has a senator that controls the settlement itself, and who looks out for the interests of their respective peoples. And then every so often there is a convening of the Senate in Autumn Hall. Autumn Hall has essentially the Senate floor, and there is a chairman essentially of the Senate that serves as like the tiebreaker and ultimate decision maker in times when the rest of the settlements are tied on decision making and stuff like that. So that would be Chairman Regulus Greywind, if you want to name.
He runs the Senate.
He runs the Senate. Yeah. He also serves as the senator for Autumn Hall. Like he has kind of a dual thing, but he is given the power of tiebreaker in a lot of respects. What was
his name again?
Senator Regulus Greywind.
Breakwind.
Regulus Breakwind.
Okay, so it's the capital.
It's the capital city, yeah.
Anything else about Autumn Hall that's unique or interesting?
It is one of several locations for the Emporium Arcanus. Is a one-stop shop for all things magical. Is a multi-story octagonal tower. Who is staffed entirely by a simulacrum of a gnomish mage, and basically people go there for all sorts of magic shit.
I'm gonna call it the Magic Superstore.
It's the Magic Superstore. It's Magic Macy's.
Magic Macy's.
You also it also serves as a traveling hub, so people often use the Emporium Arcanus's teleportation circles to travel vast distances very quickly if they have the coin for it.
Sounds expensive.
Yeah. So if you ever need to get from point A to point B really, really quickly, and you have the money for it, then that could be arranged.
Okay. Or a writ, because we've done something wonderful for somebody who gave us permission to use the portal for free.
Well, unless they're paying for it.
Well, yeah. So it's a
private business. It's not necessarily related to any established governmental figure.
Okay. Cool. That's good to know.
So yeah, there's that. It also has the Free Swords Guild Hall, which you started your adventure at. Obviously. Yeah. The Free Swords Guild Hall is that this one is the head offices of the Free Swords in the Concord. So everything important goes through Autumn Hall basically. So every main bit of questing or paperwork or any kind of records are all pretty much kept at the guild hall here in Autumn Hall. So.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a rich? I'm assuming it's a rich town. Lots and lots
Oh,
of
yeah.
trade. All kinds of. It's a big city with lots of people in it.
Yeah. A lot of times, like merchants will go if they're coming from further east, they'll come through Autumn Hall first to sell their wares. If they're coming from overseas, merchants will stop in one of the ports and then go to Autumn Hall to sell the rest. If they can't sell it all, in Tottenwald, Port Austrad, or Port Merrick. So, yeah, a lot of trade essentially centers around Autumn Hall. It's the central big city of the Concord. Particularly, a lot of trade from the east comes through there, just by virtue of the fact that the only overland pass goes up past Rohrhest into the woods and then through Autumn Hall. The rest of it usually goes by boat from Selden down the river and then to Port Merrick, but sometimes they won't go to the port and they'll trade with Autumn Hall instead. They'll go up north and then do like a circular route.
Okay. The last one was fell races of the region.
Fellow or fell?
Fell races of the region, meaning what creatures had to be displaced? Are there any pockets of semi-intelligent or intelligent? What normal people would consider, monsters? Goblins,
Right.
orcs, kobolds, semi-intelligent beasts, anything like that might exist in the region around Dunloft, especially. Bellamere wants to know: are there opportunities to do some good and gain reputation, or are there areas that should be avoided?
So for the most part, the Concord is able to defend its own lands from monsters now, or they have the Adventurers Guild to do that for them. So there's not really any like don't go here unless it's on the perimeters of the country. It used to be that there were all sorts of like trolls, hill giants, goblins, roving orc, like bandits that would go through this area and make life hard for everyone living there. It made it essentially impossible for people to settle because the hill
Right.
giants would come through and knock everything down and steal people's sheep and then come back the next day and do the same thing. So a lot of those monsters have been displaced. There are still a couple of like things on the outskirts of civilization. Sometimes people run into a problem with a hill giant. Outlying villages or little towns, might hire the Adventurers Guild to say like, hey, there's a hill giant near here that needs dispatching. Send some adventurers up to go kill it or drive it off or whatever. A lot of those are near the mountains at this point. So like anything on like the eastern mountain ranges, that's where a lot of monsters dwell nowadays because there's a lot of caves for them to hide. They can't really be tracked down by things.
And they've been pushed out of the.
Yeah. Also up in the mountains, like not underneath them in caves or anything, but like up in near where the peaks are, there are several different kinds of danger. Like there's wyverns that live up there in certain pockets, so that's always a danger. Every now and then, goblins will come in from the woods to the east, kind of outside of the territory where things are, safe. Like this whole forested area over here is where a lot of shit was driven out, so there's a lot of danger in that area in particular. Traveling through it and getting people to go through it has been tough, which is why you guys were paid so well to go through that area to get to Fort Farringeth.
Mm-hmm. And there's no cities there. It's just a big forest.
Big open forest, lots of places for things to be.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's like the last like big pocket of like roving monsters everywhere. Can't really settle anywhere yet. Not that people aren't working on it. I mean, they've established Fort Farringeth there, but yeah. As for right now, that area is not super habitable. It's also not. It's pretty harsh as far as weather goes. It's very cold. It snows heavily. Not a lot of shit grows except for like pine trees. So life up there would be hard.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As far as like kobolds go, like, there's a bunch of kobolds that live down here, but they don't really come up. They're mostly deal with the wastelands. Like they don't really come up into the Concord. There's been a couple of times where they've made their way over, and then they'll be in the area and ask you. We'll get a little wary of them, but they don't really typically want to be here. They want to be in the wastelands.
Yeah. Well, they got pushed out once, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, what is the regional dangers that the citizens would know and avoid? What other types of are there giant spider nests? Are there packs of wolves? Are there is that to be assumed that there's little pockets of little dangerous creatures all around?
Normally, it's very sparse when that happens.
So it's
and if it does happen,
then.
yeah, it's well settled at this point. The region has been relatively safe for a very long time. Now, of course, recently, in the last 8 or 9 months or so, there has been an uptick in banditry, which I mentioned before. There are a lot of people who are robbing caravans or robbing people or whatever. Like, there's a lot of thievery that's been going on in the area.
Yeah, we got a note on the dead body.
That was one such. There was a bunch of smugglers moving some illicit product.
Okay, so basically, it seems like humans are the most dangerous creature.
Yeah, at this point, it's like dealing with bandits is the biggest concern.
Right.
Because a lot of the Concord's military is kind of placed on their northern borders along the forts here, so that frost giants don't make their way back into the region and cause problems. Like, those forts are there to kind of act as a deterrent for raiding parties making their way down through the woods through here and then starting to wreak havoc around Autumn Hall and the rest of the Concord. Mm-hmm. And of course, they can't. If they tried to sail around, then they have 3 massive ports in the way with walls and defenses that make it hard to raid along the coast.
Okay. I think that answers my question. Or my research topic.
Did you think of the other thing you wanted to do, Kelso?
Well, now I kind of want to know about the Library of Runa.
The Library of Runa. Well, what was the other thing you set up for?
Me?
No.
Oh.
Kelso.
I had said...
You just wanted, like, diplomatic relations, right? As much as you could?
Yes.
So after Lauren Vale's relationships would be explored, what do you think that they would go for next?
Pastel Steva. What about the relationships between the people who have the keys to the library? Like, are there any rifts?
Not between the people that have the keys.
Uh-huh.
But between the people that don't and the people that do.
Oh.
The dwarves aren't especially happy. Not Arfandor, because Arfandor has one. But the other dwarves, the Zilberkost dwarves down in the south, they're not super happy they weren't included in that group of people. They also think that the elves having 2 of them essentially is a bit too much, and they kind of are like wary about that, because Tottenwald essentially is the senator is an elf ran for senate at the behest of King Galdorian, and kind of acts as a liaison between the two. So to dwarves who are like, hey, you're the same fucking guy. So they say it like all the elves have 2, because the Concord has 1 technically, Arfandor has 1, and then Lorenvale has 1, but they see the Concord and Lorenvale as one entity in that regard. Even Arfandor isn't super happy about that, but they have a key themselves, so they don't really complain. Zilberkost is like the newer of the Dwarven kingdoms. There was a schism in an old Dwarven kingdom that kind of split it into 2, and Zilberkost is like the newer of the 2. So Not that they're unestablished; they've been around for hundreds of years, but they are newer to the table than the other kingdoms are.
Okay. Sorry, I can't. Where are they on the map?
In the south, Silbercross Mountain, near Teichstad.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay. Interesting. I think that's the information. Can I set it up for them to look up things about the Library of Ruina?
Yeah, you can do that for future. Yeah, for future research stuff. Anybody else have any information they were having people look up for them?
Nope.
I don't think I was just researching, but I did get I had a garden for health kits and stuff.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Can I make a
Can I make a potion? You get from those. You get. I don't know what you get. You get certain
KGP.
things. You get certain things from your stuff. Here, hold on.
Well, remember I had them making spyglasses, and then I was gonna. Alright, yeah, I have a bunch of spyglasses to sell now. That's what I have.
You had what, herb gardens, both of you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So it's 7 days to harvest your shit. So you had basically 3. If you're making healing potions, you get 3 potions of healing out of it.
Cool.
Each of you.
Garrett, I get my spyglasses, right?
How long does it take the spyglasses to make?
I don't remember.
What was it?
Also,
What was your shit? It was a
My
workshop. Is that what you have?
Yeah, my workshop. Oh, I was also upgrading it to vast. So you said it's been 50 days. How many days has it been?
It's been 24 days.
Okay. So I'm up
I've also
to
been working out all of the
66.
days.
And then I was making 3 spyglasses for 1,000 GP each.
Yeah.
Big
Trying to
dollars.
up my athletics.
That was using different rules though. Hold on.
I paid for it.
I know. For each day of crafting, just working hours, blah blah blah. Combine reference raw materials. It's not crafting magical items. Where's the other thing? Hold on. Let's see. Does it give me the link to the correct thing? Crafting equipment. There it is. Okay. It was gold cost in gold divided by 10.
So 10 days per.
Yeah, so 10 days per thing. So you've had 2 spyglasses made, and they're working on the thing.
Alright, sweet. I'll pick up my 2, so if we hit a shop at some point, I can sell them.
Oh, I actually have 6 potions of healing now. That's cool.
It's good. Okay.
Can I take some time to sell some of my my focuses? I have a lot of them. That's 3 of them.
They're specifically their druidic focuses, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to go where druids are, because nobody else wants them.
Okay, so are you talking about Hannah's thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
Hannah's
they're talking about,
druid
yeah.
focuses. She has a bunch of druid focuses that she's made over the time that you guys have spent doing downtime stuff.
Oh, really?
But she can't sell them anyway, because only druids want them. You could attempt to sell them at Autumn Hall. Sometimes druids do trade through there, but
I was more gonna talk about Hannah. Did you see what I sent you
Let me look.
on Discord?
Did you send it to me on Discord? Oh.
I linked Hannah a couple of, because I was thinking making with the Earth core a rare staff for her,
Which staff?
That's I was thinking, Hannah, the staff of the woodland might be good for you, but there's also the staff of hill, the hill staff.
Sorry.
I forget what it's called. I linked it to you.
Yeah, my computer just takes a while. Staff of the woodlands. That looks cool.
It's a good staff.
It's a really good staff.
Staff.
The other one has less things on it attached to it, and I don't think it's a +2.
Yeah, I mean this thing, it's very good. It's also a legacy item. I don't know if there's a updated version of it.
So wait, what does the tree do?
It's just a tree.
Let me look it up.
Oh, I just create a tree.
It's a 60-foot tall tree.
Oh, that'll be great for small foot.
Yeah, there is a.
Of course, you don't have your staff anymore. Your staff becomes the tree.
All right, but you can command it to turn it back into a staff.
Yeah. Versus that other one.
Versus rooted hills.
All done?
Staff of the rooted hills.
So I could just hold the person down.
Yeah, you could hold people, but it's like a one-off.
Staff of the Woodlands would be on the higher end of rare. You'd also have to. You'd probably have to go find like druids to go and make this for you as well.
I was gonna say maybe I give Eris the gem, and then she goes off and makes it during her own downtime while I'm working on the
Can
fire
I make
gauntlets.
the staff since I make?
Well, the other thing I was going to say is, so the druidic stuff doesn't always give itself to artifice, and the Staff of the Woodlands is not an exception to that. So
Yeah,
you could. There's two ways of doing it. Either she can go commission it, like have it made, or like do some shit like off in the woods somewhere, which would take a lot of time, or you can go and research it like druidic shit and learn about how to do that, and then you can figure it out for yourself.
The thing is I'm running into is I'm not sure how much time we have to make both of these magic items
Crackle
in
looks
time
so dumb in
for
that photo.
the conflict.
How much time we have to fuck around?
He's like, oh, I fucking hate this. Fuck me, dude. This is Crackle's face when Skiggy's like, we're going back in for the crystals. Crackle's like, fuck, here we go.
Fucking hell.
That's good.
Well, I'm a ride or die, but if this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing. I'm with you, homie, but why are we doing this?
Does anyone have any objection to me using the Ildgen on myself?
No.
No.
At least personally, no. I don't know about the rest of
No,
us, but
not at all. I have this. I have the circlet of blasting, so I have an extra spell. Shocking. What do I have? Shocking.
Scorching Ray.
whatever. Scorching ray. I have got that as an extra.
I'm just
Each
excited
face
for a
of
level
most
8
of it.
feet, man.
Level
That's the
8
thing,
feet.
guys. Still, right? Level 8 feet.
Oh, 8 feet.
Warcasting would be kind of nice. So I can, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, don't worry, your hair top scared the life out of me. I thought it was a spider.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. You got some. Oh God, that's elf. That's an elf though.
Yeah, that's a elf.
It's a glamour shot.
It's a
Dad.
different lady.
Crackle.
So, you guys are essentially gonna stop here and do some crafting. Is anyone else gonna do anything while they do that?
Do I have any money to do things with? No, I gotta wait till I sell my stuff to have money, so I'm good.
Yeah, same.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is we're gonna have time because if they're gonna be crafting magic items, you're gonna have 10 days to do stuff. If it's
Okay.
if it's
Oh,
uncommon, if it's rare, you're gonna have a long time.
I'm down to go find a shop or somewhere to go sell my spyglasses. That would be nice.
Okay. So the closest place to you would be Port Merrick. Port Merrick
Anyone
or
wanna go to
Autumn
Port
Hall, but
Merrick
Port
with me?
Merrick would have more use of it because there's a port there.
Yeah. Anyone want to go to Port Merrick with me?
Hey, you want to go to Port Merrick
Of
with me?
course you go to Port Merritt.
It's also fine.
That's where my people are.
Hey, real quick, the shit you're looking for is in Port Merrick, so why don't you all go there together and continue the story?
Oh yeah!
Oh,
Yay! Wow!
Why don't you
we
do
should probably
that?
go.
Yeah. So
Do
yeah.
that.
Oh, I just wanted to finish my thing. How long would it take? So what were you gonna give me for the gauntlets? Was it gonna be a? What you said 2d8 fire damage for the rare gauntlets?
Yeah, well, yeah, it would be 1d8 fire damage plus an additional d8 for the rarity.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you wanted it to be uncommon, then we'll just say that it changes your damage type on at will.
Now my question is, how long would that take to craft?
Do you want the rare version?
Yes.
50 days.
50 days. Okay, is that the same amount of time that it would take for me to craft a flame tongue?
Yes.
Okay.
Rare magic items take 50 days and 2,000 gold-ish worth of materials to go into.
Garrett, I was also wondering, how much can I sell a +1 short bow for?
That's a good question. I think there's something for that. Give me a second.
I looked it up and it was a range.
Yeah.
And it would be, would I be making a whole new set of gauntlets, Garrett?
Well, if you're...
In which I can switch, or is it like an integrated thing where I can only have one type of damage at a time?
Well, okay, so if you want the rare version, it's going to be all fire damage all the time, and it'll be a separate pair of gauntlets. If you want the uncommon version, you'd be enchanting the gauntlets you already have. Because that would save on time and money.
Just to do 1d8 fire instead of thunder.
Yeah.
It would just be changing the gauntlets I have.
Yeah. Well, you could switch between the two of them. You could pick thunder or fire when you hit things.
Okay. I think... But I'm also... The thing is I'm also stuck between... Part of me wants to make the flame tongue for when I have fighter levels and can use a sword. But I wouldn't be able to use it in the fight because I don't have weapon proficiencies.
You can use it. You're just bad at it.
It would be a martial weapon. If you attune to something, I guess maybe that's just for magic.
So, Sparrow, if you want to sell your magic short bow, it's an uncommon weapon, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So you spend 25 gold, and you spend a week trying to find a buyer. Or 1 work week, so it'd be 5 days. Essentially spreading the word of the desired sale, and then you have to make a charisma persuasion check to determine the kind of offer that comes in. It's pretty good. So,
I think you got it.
Yeah, so uncommon base
Yeah.
price is 400 gold. So on a 21 plus, you're offered 150% of the base price. So you're offered 600 gold for your short bow.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
fucking lot.
Wow.
Yeah, but after she explained what that bow has done,
Yeah, I was
Um,
really convincing about it.
That's more gold than I have in my inventory right now.
Man, you
So-
need to.
and then hold on. So I also need you to roll a d100. On a 1 through 10, a complication happens.
No.
Okay, you're fine.
Okay.
no problem.
Are we at Port Merrick yet?
Fort what?
We're at Port Merrick, right?
No. We're still figuring out downtime some stuff.
Then we'll do.
Now, my other question, Garrett, would be, down the road, would it be possible for me to become a good enough artificer that if I made a flame tongue, I could incorporate that into my gauntlets and have a fucking wrist blade. Wrist blade.
Yeah, I don't see that becoming a problem. What would I do that as? So it'd be a wrist blade that's like magically enchanted. You're saying?
Like say take the because the what the flame tongue says any sword.
Yeah, but that's different from a wrist blade.
Yeah.
If you wanted to enchant a wrist blade and make it do flame tongue things, we could talk about that. That could be what your gauntlets do. You know, the rare gauntlets. You could have wrist blades that pop out, and that's the fire damage. You just need proficiency in the, like, mechanically we would treat it as flame tongue. So we would do whatever you're proficient in plus whatever flame tongue does.
Hold on, let me look at some weapons.
I don't think you're not proficient in martial weapons right now, right?
I'm proficient, yeah, not right now.
Yeah, so you will be eventually, hopefully. I don't know if taking fighter levels grants you proficiency in martials. I think it does, but I don't know if
Pretty sure it does.
I have to look at the multi-classing for fighter. It's probably in the player's handbook, if I had to guess. Let's see. Multi-classing. Multi-classing prereqs, blah, blah, blah. It's some of the proficiencies. There's a chart for proficiencies that you get. Let's see. Let's see. Is there a multi-classing section that you get to choose from? Like down at the bottom here? Subclasses. So, no, it doesn't go that far. It must be at the bottom here. Hold on.
Like, say... Okay. Oh no, short swords are a martial weapon.
Short sword is a martial weapon, yes. I'm trying to find the... I'm trying to find, like, where it lists off the stuff that you get.
Wikidot doesn't have a Qatar on it. Or whatever that, like, push dagger is kind of thing. I think it's a D4 anyway.
I mean, you have to homebrew it. The Qatars aren't a thing in D&D. If you wanted to do, like, you know, wrist blades, depending on the length of the blade, I would stat it as something different. So if you just want it to be, like, short wrist blades that come out of your wrists, we'd call it, like, short sword.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The short sword, because then it would be like the flame tongue, except flame tongue's like a long. You can make it a long sword, so it does whatever the damage of the sword is plus the 2d6.
Yeah, that's a long blade. So we would call it short swords probably.
And that would be 1d6
plus
that would be 3d6 per roll.
Yeah. And that would be a magic item all to itself.
Could I do that?
You could.
Would it be retractable?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say if you're working on it, you can incorporate it into your armor. If you want to like set this up to be commissioned while you're adventuring, then you'd have to go find an artificer and commission it from them, and they can.
I'd want to work on it myself.
Yeah, so this would be something that you put in your workshop and continuously work on for the next almost 2 months.
No. Yes. Now, what disadvantage would I have for using a martial weapon when I don't have the proficiency for it?
You don't add your proficiency bonus to the attack roll.
Your attack rolls are worse. But
Well, I could deal with that until I fucking get fighter levels.
Up to you. I will warn you. Again, you have only 2 months to figure out what's going on.
So you mean I have to like continuously just be in Dunlocked?
So you don't have to like take all 50 days consecutively. You could work on this over a longer period of time. I'm cautioning you to not do that because there's an adventure to be had, and the rest of your party are going to go into Port Merrick, and you won't be around for the next like 8 sessions. So you're going to have to like, you're going to have to keep track of your days, and you're going to have to keep them on your sheet somewhere, like how many days you completed out of 50. And you're going to have to spend downtime when you have it on crafting your item.
Okay.
Because otherwise, everyone's going to go off on the adventure without you, and they're going to either solve the problem or fail trying. And Skeggy will not be part of any future adventure in this chapter, because 2 months is, it's not a very long period of time, but that's like, real close to the deadline that I set in the letters. So, how expedient do you want this thing to be? And do you want to play the next few sessions or not?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Tongue's a weird word to spell.
Mm-hmm. Tongwei. We'll figure out the multiclassing shit later. I don't remember
Okay.
what.
Flame Tongue. I'm gonna put it. Flame Tongue Gauntlet. 50 days. And we'll work on it in downtime. However much we get.
Oh, I see it here. Yeah, you do get proficiency with martial weapons, yeah. So you get fighter hit point dice, you get martial weapons, you get training with light, medium, and shields. That's what you get. And then, of course, all the level up features. You just don't get the skill proficiencies from fighter.
Skill proficiencies?
You don't
Like
get the skill proficiencies, and you don't get the saving throw proficiencies. But you get every other proficiency. So
makes sense. Okay. So I can work on this even when we're in Port Merrick and have downtime in Port Merrick.
If you bring the requisite tools with you.
With my fucking wagon full of artificer tools. I love that Skeggy's got a little fucking work wagon. It reminds me of old fucking Ben from fucking what's the name of the wind?
Can I
Benthi.
in the time can I whittle baskets for everybody?
Whittle baskets?
Whittle baskets?
Or weave the baskets?
Weave the baskets.
she wants to whittle them with a little knife from a solid chunk of
That'd
wood.
be insane. You fucking take a giant piece of wood and whittle a basket.
I would love to whittle a basket.
I would go crazy, is all
But
I'm saying.
also weave a basket.
That'd take a long
Basket
time.
weaver. Yeah. Okay, can I weave a basket for everybody? I want to make a basket that looks like a little lizard and give it to Crackle.
Hell yeah.
Sure. So right now, only Sparrow has spent additional downtime, and
Has
she
what?
spent 5 days. So you have right now we're at additional downtime of 5 days. So if anyone has something they can do in 5 days, they can.
I've been wanting to know if I could, like, how can I level up my dock worker background?
You have to spend downtime working as a dock worker. I think there's
Can
also.
I do that?
I think there's also like. I'd have to look it up, but there's specific milestone you have to hit for that.
Okay. So how long? Wait, sorry.
Sorry, I sent. Trying to in the chat.
Since my last fucking Bastion round, we've been gone essentially down to the fortress and back was like 24 days. Plus the time we spent looking for the Eldkin, which is about 30 days, right? A month, Garrett, can we say?
So you spent so you went down to the crater and back, which is 24 days, and then you spent another 2 days searching Hex, then going to Fire Giant. So you've essentially 26 days in that last foray since you've been home.
26 days.
Oh god.
So.
Oh, thank God you found that. Okay, I was gonna.
So that means my storehouse has sold 500 gold pieces worth of goods and is working on another one. So that I'm at 1,078.
So you have to work as a dock worker, and then you have to be promoted. Is what it looks like. You're a stock clerk, is that what you are?
And so...
So for you, Sparrow, you were a dock worker in Port Merrick, so you'd have to go work as a dock worker in Port Merrick for a while.
If I have downtime, I'd do that, but I don't know if that's, like, plausible.
It can be, if the rest of them want to spend that much time. So, if you want to like make it the most efficient possible, if that's something you wanted to do, you would spend 7 days traveling to Port Merrick, so that's 1 week. Then you'd spend 5 additional days selling your short bow, and then you would spend additional time after that working as a dock worker.
Can I possibly get there faster because I have my little boat and I'm proficient in water vehicles?
I would say yes. So we can say that time is cut in half because you have a water vehicle.
And you're going downriver.
So we'll say 4 days, so we round up. So 4 days to get there, then 5 days to sell your bow, and then after that, however much time you want to spend working as a dock worker.
I want to go with her so I can sell my spy glasses.
So we're looking at a minimum of. Like,
I know where you go, so
we're looking at just getting there and selling the short bow is going to be 9 days plus however much time you want to spend dock working things.
I will dock work until everyone else is done.
For Crackle, I have to look up the selling items thing again. Hold on. Selling a magic item and selling a non-magic item are different. Let's see.
There's a humble adventure. Goes back to the day job.
There's nothing for like selling an item as far as like how much time it takes. Like a normal item. Because it's all based off of like rarity of the item's magic, but it's like there's no rarity of a fucking spyglass. I don't know how much gold did you have to put up for those things? You put up like half of the gold each time, right?
Yeah.
So you'd sell them at cost, essentially?
Yeah.
Let me see if the player's handbook has selling items in it as a thing.
Yeah.
Let's see crafting equipment. Let's see what this would make. Raw materials worth half its purchase cost, rounded down. Determine how many days, blah, blah, blah.
So essentially, after we got to Dunloft, we immediately left for Port Murray.
Yeah, I guess so. At least, let's see. I went. Who else? Is everyone going?
Where?
I went with Sparrow.
Okay, what about? I think Bellamere is the only one I have a question about whether he went or not.
Actually, I didn't go with Sparrow. I can wait and hang back with Bellamere if you guys want to hitch a ride on my wagon.
Sparrow had to go do her day job.
Say hi to the family for me.
You might go back and forth from Myrick, because it's a big trade town, and Dunloft is as close, closer to Myrick than the other towns. But we did have some business in Port Myrick, if you remember.
Yeah, that's like part of why we're going. 1, to go sell stuff. 2, to go do our thing.
I mean, I don't have any orders for blank grimoires yet, so I'm just building up my inventory of blanks while I prepare to write my adventures down and try and sell them. So I'm not ready to sell anything. I'm waiting for orders to come in. So I need to scope out if there is a magic supply store of some kind, a library that might want them. So I'd go to Port Merritt to try and make a trade connection. One of my assistants has family in Port Merrick that's part of a trade family, so I'd probably go just for that reason. Plus, don't forget we have that note that we found, which has a clue to, what is it? Finding
some shit.
No, finding like a tavern or something in Port Merrick that.
No, that was a code.
It was code. Crackle,
okay.
real quick. Your other bastion thing is a place where you can sell items out of, right?
No, I don't have that. That's why I have to do this.
Me.
What is your other thing?
No, I have the arcane study as my other one.
Yeah, okay.
And that's precisely why I have to go.
Yeah. There's nothing here that says you can't just fucking sell it immediately. And to be honest with you, I don't want to make you roll for shit, so.
Yeah.
You can just sell it at cost.
Hell yeah.
So Sparrow left Dunloft like immediately to go to Port Merrick.
Yeah.
I think Skeggy wants to stay an extra 2 days in Dunloft to collect his other 500 gold pieces that he's gonna get from his storehouse. It takes 14 days for them to buy and sell, a full round of goods. And 14 days are already passed. He picked up that 500, and now the shipment's coming back. And so he's going to wait for that, and then he's going to pack up some of his supplies that he needs to work on his armor and his super special weapon that he's being super secret about in the wagon. And give everyone a ride to Port Merrick when they're ready. But he's going to stay at least 2 days.
Yeah, I think
I'm going immediately.
that works for Bellamere.
So
Okay.
2 more days.
I'm gonna go with to
7.
Port Merrick because I'm
I'm
interested
going with
about the note.
Smellfoot.
Sure. So Eris is going on which one? You're going on the.
Are you going on a
with
quest?
Skeggy, Bellamere, and. You're going Skeggy and Bellamere, or you're going with Crackle and Sparrow?
I'll go with Crackle and Sparrow.
Okay, so you're getting there a little early.
We need some beef with us, if you know what I mean.
What?
Well, we need someone beefy to protect us.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
This
I'm
is-
not really-
yes.
So since Skeggy has the
Oh,
cart,
yes.
that's land vehicles, we're fine with that. So that's another, still 4 days.
Is it 4 days on the cart?
On the cart, yeah. Same thing as the water vehicle.
Eris starts singing a road song, trying to get Crackle to sing
I
along.
wish his Eris had gone on the cart.
What?
99 bottles of grog on the wall.
Now, I've got a horse. If Skeggy needs a horse to pull the cart, I've got a horse.
I think we use your horse to pull the cart.
Yeah, I've got
I
a
guess
horse.
I couldn't leave with the cart without you.
We were using Barris to pull the cart. But
Well,
We
for a
don't
little
see
bit
that.
of it, yes.
No, that was a
but-
long time ago. That was before we
Yeah.
bought the cart.
but I'm happy to loan the horse out because it'd be nicer to ride in a cart than ride the horse. Although I love my horse, but yeah, we could do that. What's Merrick? 2 days? 3 days?
4 days.
4 days.
3
Okay.
days? 4 days.
4 days. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. So Skaggy and I'll go. The cart can hold whatever your tools are. I've got samples of my tomes to sell. So I'll just bring that, and we'll just try and establish maybe a trade route, Garrett. I don't know if we can do it in one session, but
You can
even if it's a
travel
tiny
there
little
and
trade
trade shit
route.
at the shops. It's fine. Crackle's going to go there and sell his spy glasses. There's no reason why you can't sell your books as well. You just go down to the docks, find someone who's willing to buy it from you. Yeah, that's fine. So you'd sell them at the cost of books, which would be, I think books are 50 gold or something like that. If they're blank.
They're blanks, and I'm trying to kind of show off the quality of them and try and get a standing order where I can produce them and sell them.
Hey,
But
Skaggy.
yeah, I'd like to introduce myself to whoever the librarians are.
Remember you talked about how
25
ridiculous it was that she made 600 gold off that crossbow?
Yeah.
I made 2,000 off my spy glasses.
So a normal book has shit in it, which is what makes it valuable.
Sell my plate armor.
I would say. So how much money do you spend on your books? Do they just produce them for free, or do you have to spend money on them?
Me?
Yes.
I do have materials. I think it costs me 8 gold in materials, and then I pay Tem to make them. So he makes. I want to say he makes.
Well, you don't need. They take care of themselves. You don't need to.
Okay,
nothing
but
comes out of your pocket for them working.
He produces 6 a month, so I have 6 blanks right now.
Okay.
And so I was going to take 1 blank, maybe 2 blanks, just to show them off and maybe sell them. So yeah, it costs me 8 gold a piece, and if I sell them for 50, I mean, I'd sell them probably with an ink and a pen. Just you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we get that deep into this, but so if I make them for 8 and sell them for 50, that's about right.
It costs 10. No, books with stuff in them are worth 25 gold. If it's a blank book, then
It's a blank.
I'm gonna say you can sell
I
it.
had
for
it written
15.
down here, and I don't.
Do your grimoires magically lock with a word?
No, it's just a blank book.
You need a spell for that. I have a spell on my own that does that. On my own grimoire.
So,
Okay, let me look here.
A blank book with nothing in it would be like 15 gold to sell.
Okay, 10 gold. I produce 4 books a month. So 40, 4 books a month. So right now I had 2 from before, so I have 6 books right now. 6 blanks. That's my inventory. And they cost me 10 a piece. So if I sell them for 50, that'd be great.
15.
What?
Yes.
Cost me 10.
A normal book which has stuff in it with information that is worthwhile to people is 25. A blank book with none of that information in it is worth less. So 15 gold you can sell per.
This is magic quality paper.
It's a normal blank book.
Nice try.
You can roll. You can. I'll give you this.
Cost
You can.
me 10.
Yes, correct. And you're making 5 gold, 5 times the average monthly salary of a peasant.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, obviously, I need to hire more people and produce more books, or get. Okay, that's fine. The greatest companies started small, so that's.
If
fine,
you
then.
fill the book with shit, then it'll be worth 25 gold. But you don't have a scribe, so.
I don't have time. I need time to write.
Yeah, exactly.
Or to hire someone to write for you.
Or hire
But
someone
I
to do it for you.
want a market for the blanks so that, like, that's why I was going to go to Autumn Hall next
Yeah.
time we go to Autumn Hall.
And they're willing to pay you 15 gold for it.
Well, okay. I'm going to take 2 with me and just see. You tell me if I can sell them, or I'm really interested in starting a relationship with
If you want to sell books, you can sell them for 15 gold apiece for any you've made.
Oh, I know. Okay, that's great. I took 2 with me. I can sell them for 15. But what I want is to set up a trade route.
Okay,
Is that
you
are
want
we not
someone
doing
to
that right
come?
now?
You want someone to come to you and pick up your books for a price, or do you want to have someone?
No, I can send Tem. With the books on my horse, he
Well,
can go.
that's not his job. His job is to make the books. He doesn't travel with them. So if you want to
Well, then-
make an ongoing payment to somebody to travel with your books on a monthly basis and sell them, then that payment can be arranged. But if otherwise, you're gonna have to do it.
I'm not going to do it. This is beneath me.
No,
I'm
we're
an
trying to
important
save
adventurer.
the world,
It's
so.
beneath me. This is how this goes. Yeah, if you want to like, if you want to like set it up so that you know, Tem would not like get on your horse and travel to Port Merrick every now and then to sell books. He's there to make books. If you want to say, hey Tem, go outside and sell the books at the general store in Dunloft, when there's a trader in town, then he can maybe drop those off, and then you can pick up your own payment at whatever storehouse.
Yeah.
Hey Tem, go touch grass.
Like Tem can take a 5-minute stroll down to the dock and sell the books at cost. That I'm okay with that, but he's not going to take a several day journey. Like that's not in his job description. Quite literally,
Not even to visit his family.
Well, if you give it in breaks, but he works for you for a living in your house. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. So his job's going to be at the end of the month, take all the books he's done down to the docks and sell them to a trader, which would be 60 gold a month.
yeah, sure. Let's say that.
All right.
And his job is to put them up for sale, and then if people want them, they buy them, and then you get as much gold as that happens. And that's when traders come into town. So that I'm fine with that. It's a little bit further than that hireling's supposed to go, but
Okay.
it's not out of the realm of possibility.
So, how long are people taking once we get to once we get to Port Merrick after the 4 days of travel? What are people doing? How many days are you taking to sell your books and shit? And spyglasses?
I sell
Wait,
my
no, they are-
spyglasses immediately. It's no problem.
Yeah, as much time as it takes him to travel to port and sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
There's no rule about selling like common items. Like you could just drop this off. Magic items,
Yeah.
there's a rule for it because of the rarity of magic items in a world, and the gold cost associated with the rarity. But if it's like
I
a
need to
mundane
expand
item,
my
there's
house.
no rules for that. So we'll just say it immediately.
How do we expand our house? We need gold, huh?
You need gold, and you
I'm
need to
in
get
the
to level
middle of
9.
expanding mine.
Level
Or
9 to
not,
expand?
like making my thing better.
How do I get more employees?
You can hire more people, I think.
Or do they have to live with me? Can I hire them from Dunlop? Can I hire and train someone? Like, how does this work?
Let's see. So, a facility comes with one or more hirelings work at the facility, maintain it, execute Bastion's orders. Blah, blah, blah. Each special facility in a Bastion generates enough income to pay the salary of its hirelings. Hirelings follow the orders they're given and are loyal to the Bastion's owner. Fantastic. I think only if you have a recruit option in your shit can you do that. Because you can have hirelings recruit creatures to join your Bastion as Bastion defenders who defend it if it gets attacked.
I mean, we may
But
have
as
to
far
sort
as
of-
as far as like each thing goes, there's one hireling per thing, or it says hirelings one in an arcane study. But like if there's more than one, it's probably at a higher level thing.
That's what I'm thinking is.
So like for example, a gaming
Okay.
hall is a level 9 Bastion facility. It has 4 hirelings in it. So it depends on the special feature, whatever special room you have in your Bastion determines the number of hirelings that work it.
Well, I have.
So you have a library and you have an
I have a
arcane study,
library.
each of which have 1. So you
Each
have
of
2
which have one.
hirelings total. If you were to
Yes, I know.
eventually get a higher level Bastion facility in your Bastion that has a number of hirelings greater than 1, then you would get those hirelings greater than 1.
Well,
But
okay,
unless it has
so-
a recruit option as part of that special facility, you can't get anything more than that.
Well, okay. Okay. I mean,
It's
obviously,
determined by the
Bastion's
special
just-
features, essentially.
If we go strictly by the rules.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Like,
welcome
if
to
I were to
pay
upgrade,
people to potentially turn.
if I were to upgrade the library or add a book manufacturing room in my house, you know, what would is
Well, that's
that
a
a level
different
9
facility.
expansion?
That's a
what-
different
what-
facility altogether.
What do you mean a different facility?
I think there was
Like-
a workshop. Is it something? Was it one of them or something like that?
Okay, so let's say I want to add a workshop to my house then.
And you need another level essentially.
Well, we're only level 7, so you're
I know.
saying
And you
8
get
or
to level
9.
9.
So if I got to level 9, I could add a workshop to my house for the production of books, and then hire 4 more people and produce, right, 16 books a month or 20 books a month.
Yeah, potentially yes.
Yeah,
Let me
okay.
see what the thing is about levels. And
I mean,
let's see. So yeah, so
I mean,
at character level 9, you'll have 2 additional special facilities you can add to your bastion of
Okay.
any level that you meet the prerequisite for. So you can pick level 5 special facilities, or you can pick level 9 special facilities. There's a scriptorium. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's the
oh,
thing.
that might be what that's the
What does that
writing
do?
for the writing of books, the scribing of copies of books.
Scriptorium contains desks and writing supplies. You can craft. You issue a craft order to the facility to craft replicas of books, which
Yeah.
requires blank books to work. So that feeds into your blank book thing. So you can make books
Yeah.
that have stuff in them that increases the sell value of your books.
Right.
Or you can craft spell scrolls. Or you can craft paperwork.
Like legal documents and stuff.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to pay me to write a form and make copies of it, yeah.
It says you commission the facility's hireling to create up to 50 copies of a broadsheet pamphlet or another loose leaf paper product. The work takes 7 days and costs you 1 gold per
Adventurers
copy.
for hire.
At no additional
Please
cost
contact-
in time or money, the facility's hireling can distribute the paperwork to 1 or more locations within 50 miles of your bastion.
Can he use scissors to make little tabs at the bottom that they can be torn off?
I would assume so.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm asking for, and I think all of us are thinking like, our bastions now are level 1. We're just getting started, but I think we're all thinking that what's the next step for each of us.
So keep in mind also that some of your bastion facilities upgrade when you hit certain levels as well.
Okay.
So your arcane study, for example, when you hit level 9, you can commission the facility's hirelings to craft uncommon or common magic items.
Awesome.
So some of those upgrade on their own. Just keep that in mind.
Not before I have a security
Can you
fence.
say that
around my-
again? When you hit level 9, what happens? Because I
So,
blacked out.
arcane study. Some of your bastion facilities upgrade on their own as you gain levels.
Yeah.
So, at level 9, for example, with the arcane study specifically, you can commission the facility's hirelings to craft a uncommon or an common magic item chosen by you from the Arcana tables in Chapter 7 of the book, which is Dungeon Master's. The facility has the tool required to craft the item, and the hireling has proficiency with that tool, as well as proficiency in the Arcana skill. For the time and money that must be spent to craft the item. See the crafting magic item section for the time and money that must be spent to craft it. So you still have to put up the cost for it, but you can craft it at the thing passively without you having to do it
Yeah,
yourself.
I think that's what we're thinking is
If
level
the item
9, we're gonna
allows
have a
its
big
user to
expansion.
cast any spells from it, you must craft the item yourself. And you must have all those spells prepared every day you spend crafting the item.
We do it ourselves, so we got to be home for that. So there's going to be
If the item in question
bastion.
has you casting spells from it. So, for example, in order to craft a staff for a wizard, let's say, that has a number of spells that you can cast from the staff, you have to have all those spells available to you, have them prepared throughout the crafting process, and you yourself have to do it. The hireling can't do it for you.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, that's just being home.
Yeah.
In the bathroom.
But it gives you the option to do that. So, there you go. It gives you a facility with which you can do that, and it gives you the tool for free that you need.
Yeah. Okay. So get to level 9. I mean, we got to collect money while in the next 2 levels.
As much as we want to turn this into Civilization, the game, a
Well-
lot of this stuff happens because you're
Right.
leveling up, and we're in a milestone system, so you guys should hit some milestones to level up your shit.
Yeah, that's fine. I know it's fine. I'm just thinking ahead, like how this is going to work.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what I want is a nice big house and move everything to a facility in Dunloft, a separate building where they can just go to work over there, and I can live at my house. But now everything's at my house.
Yeah.
I got to put a
Well,
fence.
the
I got
world's
to put a
gonna
wall
end
around my
if we
house.
don't get our shit together in about 2 months. So.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
They're
that's
not
true.
gonna have any good business prospects when we're all enslaved by fucking Dwergar.
Giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's bigger
Yeah, they
things
could-
at play here that maybe
What
need to be
the-
stopped to protect your financial investments.
Well, we need to.
Yeah,
I know,
maybe,
right?
maybe we should continue with the story.
Bro's playing Merchant Simulator.
Yeah, maybe.
I want to continue with the story.
There is a game called Ale and Tale, where you manage a fantasy tavern.
Sure.
I think I have that.
We have bronze.
I also
We have
have
Bronzebeard's
that.
Tavern.
I watched a
cheap version with dwarves.
fucking
watched a YouTube
skeletons
video of a
stealing
guy
our
playing that
food.
game, and the game is basically make ale, make shepherd's pies, run to the well, come back in, make more ale, make shepherd's pies,
Yep.
run to the well, get water,
You also
plant
play
corn,
zombies.
Yep,
make
that's how
boiled
those work.
corn.
I bet I can run that fucking game properly now if you guys want to play again. But
What game?
I think I got rid of it. I not got rid of it, but I
Bronze
uninstalled it, so I got to
Oh.
reinstall it.
It's like
We should
free,
play
I
Baldur's
thought.
Gate before we do any of that. Anyway,
we should.
back
Yes,
to the game.
Okay, moving on.
For the last 15 minutes here, let's have everybody go to Port Merrick. So
Okay.
everybody does some shit, goes to Port Merrick. People are moving around the place, selling things. The only one who doesn't have to pay for lodging during all this time is Sparrow. Sparrow's family has a house here. She can stay
Yeah,
with them.
baby.
What about me? They're just gonna leave their fucking uncle out there to rot?
No, he
you're
lives
fine.
with us.
No, just kidding. I live in my fucking wagon like the proper uncle. It's like the equivalent of a van.
It's
So
He's got like a VW. but-
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah. It's an orange van.
It's an orange van out in the field. Yeah. Hang up your armor on the clothesline.
all right, so depending on how you all want to live, you can spend certain amounts of money to live in not squalor, or you can live a squalor lifestyle.
No, Velimir is
I'm
going to
living
have a
in
nice.
squalor.
So
Living
100%
nice-
living in squalor.
so you're all
a nice
you're all at
Can
least
I
in.
stay with my giant family?
they can't not all of you can fit in your house. All right, they're all fucking halflings in there. Only the small people can fit in that house. Skeggy has to park his armor
There's
outside
a-
because there's
wait,
not enough
I'm-
room.
and there's
I'm
like
even
10 in
smaller.
there.
How dare you?
You guys can stay in my
Crackle
wagon.
can't stay. He can't stay with them. There's too much things going on. They got 7 people in one house. Let's calm down a little bit. So, for people who are not Skeggy and Sparrow, you have a couple of choices on how much gold you want to spend per day on a lifestyle. If you want to just spend the bare minimum you need for your necessities, it's 1 silver per day.
Oh my god.
If you want to spend frugally for your necessities, it's 2. If you want to support yourself at an average level, it's a gold per day.
What about an above average level?
Comfortable, wealthy, or aristocratic.
Comfortable.
Comfortable is 2 gold per day. You spend modestly for your necessities and enjoy a few luxuries.
That I'll do that.
Okay, so that would be...
I'm gonna.
We're spending at least 5 days here because Sparrow needs to sell her short bow in that
So
time.
10 gold.
So 10 gold.
I'm gonna do frugally.
Okay. 10
And
gold.
is that 1 silver?
We're
You said
staying 5 days.
Frugally was 2 silver per day. For
2
5
silver
days.
per day for 5 days.
After traveling, correct?
So,
After travel, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Where we're not, it's downtime, we're not doing anything.
Where you guys are in Port Merrick, Sparrow is looking for buyers for her short bow, and the rest of you are doing
Nice.
whatever you need to do during that time.
What's the exchange rate
push-ups
silver to
and
gold?
sit-ups.
10 silver for 1 gold.
Okay.
I'm
So
already down to 38 days making my gauntlet.
I'm getting my winter body yaddy ready.
What are you talking about?
So during those 5 days, there's not much anyone's doing. Crackle sells his spyglass on like the first day, so you got like 5 days of stuff that you guys are just kind of hanging on to. Are you doing anything during those 5 days while Sparrow's selling her bow?
Well,
All
yeah.
you hear is like construction noises from inside Skeggy's fucking wagon.
Cool. Skeggy's working
I'm
on shit.
working
What
out.
is everyone else
Yeah.
doing?
Velimir
working
is
out.
traveling to the
Port Merrick
libraries.
have
Crackle and I should go. Unless he has other things to do.
well, I'm seeing. Does Port Merrick or Dunlop doesn't have? Port Merrick. Does Port Merrick have a free sword place?
I mean, probably. At least a little
I
office.
think they do, right?
Let me check my notes.
So I want to go with them if possible.
Okay.
I would say yes. There would be a free swords guild. I don't think it would be very big here in Port Merrick because there's other shit.
Yeah,
that
I just want
comes
to
up.
like.
Yeah.
I just want to join up with some people and like help out.
So let's do this. Some exploration of the city. Let's do that. So, let's say you're like asking around for shit to do. Go ahead and make a, make a persuasion check.
Ooh. Can I do this too?
Sure.
Are we all? We're not all doing this, are we?
If you
Well,
want to.
I'm going.
If you're
to
asking around for shit that's in the
wander
area,
around,
you can.
yeah.
Yeah, I do. Persuasion.
The same.
Dude, that's ridiculous. I have +6, and I always roll bad.
I have no.
Oh,
clue.
come
Natural 20.
on!
See?
I am charismatic
Okay, so
and impressive.
I'll give you each. I'll give you some stuff. So, Crackle, you are looking for specifically the Adventurers Guild. There is a small office for the Adventurers Guild here. You can absolutely go and do some jobs for them for a short period of time. And I'll break out notes for that in a minute.
Cool.
Eris, you were looking for what? Just anything, or?
Yeah, really anything cool. Any work, maybe for like a day. I could go help out a child or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
So roll me 1d4, please.
Okay.
Okay. So, you're kind of exploring town looking for shit to do. You're kind of bored, and you wander into what is essentially like the aristocratic area of Port Merrick, where all the wealthy like merchants and wealthy families live. And you are kind of like looking around, and then on a hill you see like off in the distance around this area, kind of outside the city, but still within its purview, there's a manor house on the hill. Looks like this sprawling manor, and you can see, even from as far away as you are, there is what looks to be an observatory tower that's capped with a glass dome. It's kind of
that's
catching
cool.
the light. You can just barely see. It's like outside the city limits, but it's still visible from within Port Merrick itself. So you think that someone probably very important and powerful lives there. For Bellamere, go ahead and roll me 2d4, please.
Oh, I wanted to ask somebody
2d4.
about it.
Okay.
Great. 2 3s. Reroll one of those. It's the same entry. Do it again. Do it until you don't get a 3. Great. Okay. So, while you are looking for the library, you do find a library. There's the Library of Maritime Engineering. This is a repository of technical and arcane knowledge, particularly concerning the scientific principles of sailing and shipbuilding. Most of the documents within are naval blueprints of moderate complexity, but a few schematics exist of conceptual ship designs made of steel and powered by arcane engines.
Ooh.
Some shipbuilders have their apprentices study the trade first at this library before they get hands-on experience building or designing sailing vessels.
That makes sense.
This is somewhere where Skeggy was at one point, studying artifice. So that is like one of the bigger libraries in town, where you can hawk your blank books at. So if you want to sell your books there, you can.
The Library of Maritime Engineering.
Yeah, they're always in need of blank
Okay,
pages.
so I'll
for
consider
people.
them a trade contact, at least for now.
Sure. You can also consider them in case you guys are interested in purchasing or acquiring aquatic vessels. Then you can, use them as a resource to determine which of those you want.
Okay.
The other thing you see as you're kind of exploring is there is a lighthouse in Port Merrick that's kind of on a small rocky outcropping just south of the port. And the lighthouse, fairly distinctive from let's say a standard lighthouse. I don't know if you've ever been to a coast, but lighthouse, you kind of have like an idea of how they work. This lighthouse it's essentially a large stone statue of a figure holding in the palm of its hand, holding a lantern, and carrying in the other hand a trident.
What does it have a name?
Roll a religion check.
The Colossus of Port Merrick.
Yeah.
Is it Merrick?
Religion.
That's him. That's Merrick.
Bam.
19, sure.
Nice.
So this, you come to learn, is St. Trinia's lighthouse, modeled after the fabled St. Trinia, who was a paladin and longtime traveling companion of Cameron Corellis. She was part of the legendary party that kind of like swept through here and cleared some monsters out. And her lighthouse serves as both a lighthouse and a temple to Tribus, the god of protection and all that fun stuff.
What was the name of the
like to
god?
Go to the observatory, please.
Tribus, Tribus. Tribus is a Tribus is the god of like protection and justice and all that stuff.
Okay.
People often go there to pray for safe passage on their voyages before they depart.
Makes sense. Okay. Library of Maritime Engineering, the Lighthouse of St. Trinia.
Yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
Alrighty. What is Crackle doing other than selling shit?
Just doing jobs for the
Right, jobs.
free
Right,
sword.
that's right. Okay, let me look up the adventuring rules real quick for you. I have to put this. It's in Shattered Earth somewhere. I gotta find it. Hold on. Let's see where I can find it. Where did I put it? Is it in the Ashen Expanse, maybe? Okay, 1 second. Oh, I know where it is. Hold on. It should be here somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Each every guild hall. Fantastic. You're a lower rank dude, right? You haven't been promoted
rank
yet?
2.
You're rank 2.
I have promoted one time.
Yeah.
I am a sellsword.
So you are able to perform low and mid-rank jobs.
Woo.
So a mid-rank job is 2 work weeks, which would be 10 days.
Okay.
And a low-rank job would be 1 work week, which is probably what you want for 5 days of work, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, success rate of the job determines whether or not you complete the job and how much you get paid if you do. 0 successes means character failed. Okay. So a low-rank job is 10 gold times your guild rank, so maximum
20.
20, yeah. Or maybe more, we'll see. You can also hire other people to go with you on this job instead of just doing it by yourself, which will cut into your gold earnings but give you a better chance of success. It's a low-rank job, I don't expect you to fail. And then if you have certain things, there's failure. So, let's see. See if I can find it. Have a player make 3 skill checks. Each check is determined at my discretion, but must include at least 1 skill in which you are proficient. So, what are your skill proficiencies?
I am proficient in persuasion, perception, intimidation, deception, and arcana.
Okay.
Deception.
I'm going to ping each of those real quick so they are in
No,
chat.
I can look at your sheet. I can see it. So,
Okay.
let's
That works too.
see. Let's say you want this to be over quickly, so you pick a job that you think you can do relatively well. We'll say an Arcana check, we'll do a Perception check, and we'll do a Stealth check.
Alright.
You're looking for DC 12 on all these.
Arcana. You said Arcana, Perception,
And Stealth.
and stealth. Oof. And then Stealth. Youch.
Got it.
Dude, why do I roll like consistently?
Don't know. So that is 1 success.
Yep.
So, with 0 successes, you roll twice on the setbacks table. With only 1 success, you roll once. So, with 1 success, you roll once on the setbacks table. That's a d6.
Okay. 4.
4. You angered a local merchant in a town where you took your job from. They will no longer
pissed
sell
them
goods
off.
to you or your party.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
Great.
Lord.
Cool. And then, it's 10 gold times your guild rank. So 1 success means your job was completed sloppily and the payment for the job is cut in half. So you get 10 gold.
Oh, that's fine.
You did a sloppy job. You made a merchant mad. You're banned from their shop, and you get 10 gold for it.
Hella fun.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm sure it was a good adventure.
You can say that, like, I don't know. I rolled, it was Arcana, Perception, and Stealth. So like maybe this merchant like hired you to go and find like a special item for him somewhere, and then you had to like sneak up on something and steal it, and you didn't like do it very well. You didn't realize that someone was watching you, and you got in trouble, and you had to like fight your way out of a place. And then you
had to
come
break
back to
into the
Port Merrick, and
Krusty
he's like, well, fuck, now that guy's not going to do business with me anymore, so I'm only going to pay you half the job.
I had to break into the Krusty Krab to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula,
Sure.
and SpongeBob caught me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Lord.
Alright.
It's sweet.
Cool.
Hilarious.
All right, cool.
Alright.
That's so funny.
So, so after this, what are you guys doing? After 5 days is done, downtime activities been completed. For the most part, you guys reconvene at some point in whatever tavern y'all are staying at.
What the hell was the thing we were like actually trying to complete?
You have a couple of notes.
Investigate the letter that we got, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's got that?
So your letters made mention of the fact that Durabar is doing business with smugglers out of Port Merrick.
I would know
Smuggers.
smugglers in Port Merrick.
You are a thief. You have contacts.
You're literally a smuggler in Port Merrick.
Mm-hmm.
Is it me?
You have contacts. You could ask around and see if anyone's heard about anything like that.
Ooh, be
You
careful.
should definitely do
This should
that.
be interesting.
Absolutely.
Well, then I will do that.
Great. Make me a persuasion check
I can
to
persuade.
hit up some contacts.
That's what I thought.
Just keep this finger crossed. Oh, I think I am a little persuasive.
Yeah. So you'll go to one of your older contacts, someone who you used to take jobs every now and then from, who's got kind of an ear to the street. He's not like he's not like a famous fence or anything, but sometimes he brokers jobs for unsavory individuals. And you kind of ask around, and it takes some convincing to give that away, because stuff like that, people are wary when you're asking about work. But you eventually get him to spill that there's been some stirring in the underworld about the Gulls. Gulls being one of the larger smuggling syndicates on the western coast here, doing business with some shady individuals, and they're moving a lot of product and getting a lot of money for it.
Hey, yo.
What types of unsavory individual?
On a 25, I'd say you're able to get enough of a description out of him to think that it might be connected to Durabar, just by the details he's able to give about the types of things that are being smuggled, rare metals, rare magic crafting materials, tools, stuff like that. Sounds a lot like the MO of the Dwergar.
Interesting. Skeggy, your old pals are up to it again.
They literally enslaved me. They're not pals of mine.
I was like, that's an interesting take, Elsa.
I'm free. Oh, no, never mind.
Old pals is such a weird way to put it's like fucking going up to Harriet Tubman and being like, hey, your old pals are fucking seceding from the nation.
Going Harriet Tubman route was crazy.
I was
In
going
fact,
to
you
say that.
decided Harriet Tubman was a wild reference.
Skeggy's going to become the Underground Railroad for Durabar.
That would be
I'm
tight.
not trying to say they're
Literally in the south,
loud
ferrying
to
people to the
everyone.
north.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Because you knew who I meant.
Okay, so you that's the information you get. You get information that specifically the Gulls are the group of smugglers that is working with Durabar, and they're getting a lot of profit from them. They're being paid very, very well. Lots of money is moving through the underground right now.
Can I ask if there's any way for me to get in on that work?
He
As Smellfoot the smuggler?
he kind of looks at you and he said he's going to caution you against working with the Gulls. Because once you're in, it's like you're in. It's one of the things that, like, you're tangentially aware of the Gulls because they're the biggest, smugglers here in town, much less on the Western Seaboard. But the Gulls are like a very exclusive club. They once you're in, you're in. You can't get out, and you're with them. You're not with anybody else. You don't work for yourself. You work for the Gulls.
Interesting.
You're going to be our conduit to infiltrating the Gulls, maybe. We got to find out what business they're doing with the Dwergar and how it's related to the smuggling of, what was the name of the metal?
Shadow Steel.
Shadow Steel, which we've already had experience doing. Yeah, so there's something going on.
Also remind you that it's not just Shadow Steel that Durabar's trading in. It's all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Sparrow just found out that they're importing a lot of illicit shit.
Like
including
crystals Skeggy wants?
Including crystals like that.
If you're going to overthrow a region, you need an army.
I was gonna say, like, speaking in the privacy of, privacy.
Whatever seedy tavern you're in, yeah.
Would it really be so bad in the grand scheme of things? Daniel, can you unplug your mic for a second? Sorry, I'm hearing myself on like a half-second delay. Would it really be so bad for us to infiltrate the Gulls if it saves the world, Like,
well, I don't think anyone's going to believe that I'm a hardened smuggler.
I mean me.
I mean, if necessary, I wouldn't want you to be endangered, but if we need to get more information, you might be the perfect person. Certainly not if it's too dangerous. And I'm not saying become a member of the Gulls, but perhaps be close enough to them, cultivate some relationships, and we just become
I've got a strong feeling they don't have close relationships without being a member for this kind of business.
I am also going to remind you of your backstory, Sparrow, and the reason why you were not in Port Merrick when we started.
Oh.
Some people were angry and you had to leave town. It's a good chance they were related to the Gulls.
Who's the leader of the Gulls?
What the fuck was that?
What is going on?
What is that?
I found the voice changers.
Oh my god. Oh no.
I'm in a cave.
Oh no.
God damn it.
This is what happens when you have downtime.
You need to share that with me right now. I need that for voices.
It's
Turn it off. Holy shit. Oh my god.
We're being haunted.
Do an evil laugh. Do an evil laugh, Daniel.
No, it's over.
It's over. It's done.
It's how did I access this? Oh, it's in microphone settings, right next to the mute button.
Really? Oh shit.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know if infiltrating them would work for you or any of us. Really, we're not infiltrators, as we've learned.
As we've learned the hard way.
Yeah.
Two of us almost died,
I
and
have to sneak in or something.
one of us got arrested.
Well, sneaking and talking your way into things are two
But
different.
yeah, see, like, she just needs to be perceived as a trusted conduit. A smuggling organization has to have legitimate people working for them too, who can launder the money or appear legitimate on the surface. So maybe she has a boat. She transfers things. She could become, perhaps, if she's willing to smuggle small items, gain their trust, just not join the group. I don't know.
I mean,
Not to
we
make
could do
plans
some
for
sort
her.
of maybe we could plan like a sting operation or something.
Remember how we, did the thing with Skeggy with those were thieves with the wagon and everything. But we are in possession of gemstones that are apparently forbidden to be traded in because they're so powerful.
Oh.
Granted, I'm already using them to create stuff, but
So do
we
set up a
spread the
fake
word
deal?
maybe that we have Ildgen.
I don't know if I want to
For
spread
sale.
the word that we have Ilgan. Pretty sure that's
People might-
pretty illegal.
Well, we're dealing
But
with
we spread
people
a
who.
false word.
Yeah, not spread.
That
Not
someone
spread.
else.
Right. Not spread.
Ah,
yes, very
the
false.
word, but let it be known, perhaps.
Is that
Yeah,
not the same
just
exact thing?
just to gain the attention of the Dwergar, because they might really want those stones. I don't know how we do that. Maybe get Sparrow to tell homie with the gulls that perhaps their benefactor would be interested in Ildgen or something, and to contact Shady Slim, aka Belmere. Belmere.
Yeah, Slim Shady.
AKA.
Oh, Shady Slim.
Sparrow, go ahead and roll me a history check with advantage, please.
Okay.
See if you can remember something here.
I got a fucking -1, so.
Oh God.
Oh,
Pretty good.
nice.
So, the contact that you're talking to right now, small-time broker, not someone who's related to the Gulls in any way, but if you're asking about contact with the Gulls, he can give you the name of a guy who does work for them, who also is kind of a recruiter. Like, if you do jobs for this guy, then you and you do well enough, then he offers you membership, essentially. More money, more pay. A lot of people take it because, protection, more money, still get to do the thing you're good at, that kind of stuff. Guy goes by the name of Johnny Dirk.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny
Dirk.
Dirk.
I would like. So, rewinding to discussing with Party and Shady Tavern.
Whoever's on their
am
phone, shut it
curious-
off.
Yeah.
Grant.
You can
What happened?
hear
Shut off
that
the
you're
phone.
on your phone.
Oh, yeah, well.
We're gonna stop here in a second, but I want to do one last thing.
Okay.
Talking to my party, I feel like I would be interested I feel like doing a delivery job for me, no biggie. I do it all the time. I feel like it couldn't hurt to get some extra information about these people, even if it just is pertaining to, I don't know, contacts, connections, anything I can pick up. And I don't have to actually accept the job if offered. But it is one step closer. And also, Sparrow is a smuggler because she needs to make money for her family, and the idea of actually having a job where she makes a lot of money isn't entirely unappealing.
Unappealing?
But she keeps that to herself.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know, guys. Like, maybe we get some good information about it.
Or when we make the delivery, we could jump out of your boat and surprise them. And get them. Get them.
There's gonna be so many of them.
Let's work on getting information first before we risk our lives. Cause like, I can get away from things, and yeah. So I think I do want to possibly meet Johnny Dirk.
All right.
Are we on board, Squadron?
I'm on.
Hey, that sounds
board.
like a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's meet Johnny Dirk.
Johnny.
All right, I'm gonna go to my contact
Johnny.
How
solo
about Johnny Test?
to try and
Dick.
get some work.
So you can
Johnny
go
Test.
ask
Is
your
that
guy to
Johnny
set up a
Dick
meeting,
involved?
essentially.
Yeah.
Johnny Megapint Dirt.
That might be a good place to leave it unless we're going to keep going.
Shut up, Hannah. So,
Caribbean.
I'll leave it with this. You ask your contact to set up a meeting for potential employment. He doesn't seem too happy about the idea, but he'll do it anyway because he owes you one. Let's say he owes you one. So he'll go ahead and set that up for you. The next day, when you wake up, kind of, scratch your eyes, step outside for the first time in the day, going to do whatever you need to do, and pinned to your door, your aunt and uncle's front door, is a note.
No. What does it say?
Give me 1 second. Let me find. I'm in the wrong notes. That's why.
I'll add. Sparrow is Spellfoot because she doesn't share her name when smuggling. So the note being on her actual residence is alarming.
It said the note just says, "The Rusty Barnacle, 10 p.m."
Son of a bitch. Okay.
The rusty barnacle.
The Rusty Barnacle.
Great.
I love that place.
It's great.
It's great.
I have sick karaoke.
It's not official karaoke. It's just people getting too drunk and then they start singing she shanties.
Yeah, it's the best kind.
She shanties. Specifically female shanties. So the Rusty Barnacle as just a standard ass tavern where a lot of the seafaring sailors go to blow their work money after they come back into port. It's usually loud and boisterous, which is perfect cover for two people talking in a booth in the back.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and stop it there for today with a meeting set up with this mysterious Johnny Dirk character. And we'll pick up next time with the meeting and whatever else you guys decide to do in Port Merrick. Cool. Until then, see you later. Bye-bye.